1, 2, 3, 4. Gratitude. Mm-hmm. Button events. Eyes back. What is it good? What is good? What does it do? How does it does? David Dimitri live in color on YouTube.com. You see the logo behind me. Oh, Original World Union on YouTube.com. You see the logo right behind me. Oh yeah, we're David Dimitri on Instagram. David Dimitri on Instagram, and we are live in color. Oh yeah, we're David Dimitri Johnson. David Dimitri Johnson on Facebook, live simultaneously. David Dimitri on Instagram. David Dimitri live in color on YouTube.com. David Dimitri live in color on YouTube.com. The song and the single David Dimitri live in color has been dropped. It will be released November 1st. We are also live streaming on OWU, the Original World Union, on YouTube.com. And as you see, I gave a title to this live stream. A title, because we are tidal waving into Jah consciousness and Jah likeness. We give thanks to the Almighty Jah Rastafari. We give thanks to the Almighty in all names of all good indigenous people. We give thanks for the earth and her mothership, and earth and all she provides, the sun Ra and all it provides. Gratitude to the moon and stars, Newt, and all that is provided. Gratitudes to all ones and loved ones and ones and ones. This is what we does. This is how we do, and this is how we do it. It's very, 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 very good. We give thanks. Gratitudes. 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 Oh yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do. So look, I came out here specifically not to be monkey see, monkey do. As you know, I go off, I get off, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go off and get off. The sirens is, as you know, sounding like me now. The trumpets is blowing. For years, I've been telling y'all to prep, but all the DMs in my OWU is asking me where's the prepping stuff, because I've been going on other people's live streams, being interviewed. I will be posting that. I've got a couple of the footage. It'll be pre-recorded. You know, you just go on to the OWU YouTube. It'll all be on the OWU because it was prepping talks. Those of you that know what prepping is those that are preparing for would-be trying events and times. In other words, if the electricity shuts out, if natural disasters hit, are you prepared to take care of yourself and your own? Because there won't be no public health, there won't be law and order, etc. If a big sad thing happened, like a terrorist attack. That is what we're dealing with when we're dealing with prepping. And that's what I discussed and I went into. But at David Dimitri live in color is more about my own individual contribution to the world as an intellectual. I'm into politics. I mean, I have a political science degree. I studied all over the world, etc., as I usually say. And I'm an author. You know what I'm saying? Here's my book, Outline to Empower. You know what I'm saying? How to do and what to know for evolutionary living. Outline to Empower. How to do and what to know for evolutionary living. That will be released by December or January. I had it out. I took it off the shelves because and off the internet because of specified ambitions and specified higher upgrade of what I wanted to do, because I wanted it to line with the courses that I will be releasing simultaneously with the book. I will be releasing the courses. So with that in mind, I'm glad I'm recording this. A lot of these, it's interesting because, you decide to go live without giving a heads up. You see who falls in. It's 4:20 Pacific Standard Time, and I right now only have someone on OWU. I mean, that's a lot not to give a warning, especially on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube, because YouTube people pretty much have the people that they deal with, so I'm glad I have somebody right here. But on David Dimitri Live in Color, I have no one watching yet. Instagram, I have no one watching yet, but what is always watching is the algorithm. So this is a pre-recorded talk. You understand? And this is what I'm doing. And we will be doing some talks on more down to earth things that I want to talk about on and actually I think you can't get more down to earth than prepping, but people aren't ready for it. Like right now, here's my phone. I just opened up my Instagram on the phone, even though I'm going Instagram on my desktop, right? It's just basically some soft porn. You hear that? And so she's dancing. I mean, she looks great. Ain't nobody judging. Shit, I like looking at. Then I scrolled it a little bit, and it's a picture of Malcolm X at the top in the funeral in a coffin, and under it is a picture of Martin Luther King in a coffin. I don't know what it says. It says a racism doesn't care. System doesn't care if you are for self-defense or for nonviolence. Now, isn't that a great post? It's a post of actual Malcolm X in his coffin at his funeral and Martin Luther King in his coffin at his funeral. And it says a racist system doesn't care if you're for self-defense or for nonviolence. You got to give that some gratitude. That's a great post. Like I said, it was soft porn there, and then there's a beautiful, young, petite, beautiful sister right here. She's in some laundry on the couch. And then there's other ones. And this is Instagram, so you already know. And here goes another from African Archives is the name of the page. They have Muhammad Ali with his brother, with their great-grandmother. So this is a little bit of look into what I see on Instagram. And yeah, that makes me appreciate it. And yeah, that beautiful actress sister right there named Stormy Reed. I follow different people for different reasons. You just have wonderful things. Let me see if I can find something that here go a sister. She's in Asia or Africa, more likely Asia, with that small elephant, and she's standing with a fruit feeding the elephant. That's wonderful. And so here goes something.
Right now, you were exactly the same person throughout eternity. How would that make you feel? That's called hell. There's no new ideas. There's no evolution of the soul. You're just the same forever. Then add this. What if everyone was exactly like you? Never allow someone else to bring you to the level of hate. And the only way to know what you don't know is to listen. Be receptive. Be open. Be available. You can still maintain your point of view. Take back your mind. Ask, what kind of world do I want to live in? And then represent that world vibrationally. That's going to take spiritual practice.
Michael Beckwith,
Think about who you are right
the
now.
leader
Who you are
and the
right now.
starter, one of the greatest teachers of the Agape Center and the Agape movement, which was also one of the lead teachers in the 2005 video film named The Secret. But in 1999, I got a cassette tape given to me by a brother that was with, this is a black man with two white girls, and he was kicking it, enjoying life, and he had love for me, and he gave me the tape. He said, this is going to change your life. This is what you need to know. This is the secret. It was called The Strangest Secret. It was by Earl Nightingale. This is 99. You fast forward 6 years later, The Secret came out. And it was covering that same strangest secret, which is the law of attraction. By then, I already knew the law of attraction wasn't the only principle that you had to learn. But it was one of the most important foundational principles which you need to master. And what I'm showing you
About who you are right now.
spontaneously, what pops up on my Instagram, not all my social media, but my Instagram. Look at this beautiful art. Oh my God. Some African art. Look at this beautiful sister. She's a Polynesian sister. She does all the dancing. This is what I see on social media when I'm on Instagram. Now, if I'm on my YouTube, I see different, more political. You know, more. Some of you might take some of that political. It's some of it is just facts. You know, not all politics is based off of feelings and thoughts. The humans are conveying the thoughts and feelings, but politics is based off of facts or lies. Straight up, facts or lies. That's not what. So, with that segue, I was trying to give people a chance, because you just never know what day when you're going live, if you're going to do it spontaneously, who's on, especially if you haven't been going live. And so it's just a matter of allowing a little bit of time for people to come on. You know, like I said, in the naming of the live, international affairs. So before I get into the spiritual part, I want to deal with the international affairs, because that's basically something that we really don't care that much about, because we can't control it. You understand? You don't stress yourself over that you can't control, because that's what causes you to stress, because you can't do anything about it. So a lot of people just don't care about the international affairs. They'll hear it about what's going on in Israel, Ukraine, you know what I mean, Burma, Haiti. They hear about what's going on in Israel with the Arab nations that Israel is opposing, and Iran, you know, but it's not a priority. It's not a priority of such. And so you have to accept that and know that and realize that when you talk about certain things, like me, I'm more known to be a spiritual person and a political person. Some people are just straight up spiritual, especially men. And I'm also known to be an athlete, a combat sports and a track running athlete. That's what I did. I also played football growing up. I played other sports, basketball too, but my main was football, combat, and football is kind of like a team combat sport, in a sort of. It's like based off of warfare. And then American football is what I'm talking about. And of course I played basketball and baseball a little bit, but you know, I was more aggressive, so I played football and receiver, inside receiver, defensive back, and safety. So you growing up boxing, but you love martial arts, watching the karate movies. You get in fights, you're using your whole body to win, and not just using the hand boxing that you know. And so you always wanted to really do some sort of competitive martial arts competition. You're too poor, there's no dad, it's mom by herself, she's blind, she can't afford it. It's off the picture. We get away from the domestic violence. Stepdad, there goes the opportunity for me to play sports again, because my dad had left me. I wasn't going to be playing football no more when he left me. So it just took about a year off. I started playing football again. And so football was always there, boxing in and out of the gym and I could. Long enough, things happen, and other sports too. Life goes on. Running track since junior high, all the way up into junior college. I was a high school dropout, got a GED, realized I wanted to learn, had to work for years, couldn't go to college like other people. Finally got a space opening where I could, went from there. Played football, ran track. Still wanted to box, went down there and sparred. It goes on and on. I always been a competitive athlete. I always been in on that because that's how I'm made. I roll like that. And reason why I brought that up is because it's my experience that made me that way. But it's kind of mind bending, like that sound you're hearing, is because I met over the years a lot of spiritual brothers that were either to the extreme where they had no and gave no time toward athleticism at all, but yet they want to be calling themselves and be known to be a martial arts. Martial arts is not supposed to be just for your mind and for you to teach. There's a lot of people that identify themselves as teachers, but they have done nothing to learn to teach. And they're teaching in areas where they've done nothing to justify them teaching that. They just read about it and stuff, and that's not how it goes, man. That's just not how it goes. You got to get into stuff. And as a man, and a lot would disagree with this, but you have to be in the masculine things. You know, you got women that are in the masculine things. So why would a man miss out on his opportunity to be what he is? You can always be feminine. You can go find your feminine self, know things about your feminine ways. You don't have to be sexually, you don't have to become gay or none of that. But you can find out this is something that females do. I can do it too. Oh, find out that other men do it. But no matter what, who you are, what you want to identify with, if you're going to be teaching something, you need to be learning it. And when it comes to anything athletic, reading books and all that shit ain't it, man. You got to get in it. Take your ass down to the gym and get beat up. And in the process, learn to defend yourself, and then learn to do the beating up. And then you go out and teach. But until then, you don't have no business teaching. And I say that because that's what's wrong with combat sports right now. You know what I'm saying? You have people that are authors that wrote books, that did the business of book writing and book publishing and stuff. Don't that make sense? You got people that are in the same area that have never did anything like that, but they got a friend that's a con artist, whether they call themselves that or not, excuse me. And what they sit up there is they learn how to create online commercials, websites, and all this different stuff. They say we could just tell people how to write books and stuff. I don't know how to write books, so what? It doesn't matter. We're going to trade them this, and then we're going to create a funnel, and we'll have a starting page. We're going to create something we're going to give away, and then from there, they're going to come on, and we're going to teach them this and this. They'll buy this specific book. We're making money off that, and then they're going to sign up, and we're going to have them learning how to do this and this. Well, in the process of making that, they leave out stuff that you don't know. They either charge you more for that, or you just end up learning the hard way. Then you have these funny ass publishing companies that people decide to start that lie and say they're going to market you in this and this, and they do a post about your book. And you got these people that got this whole line books and videos about teaching you how to publish your book. And this is not just about publishing books. Like I said, I'm an author. But you got to watch out for the scams. And so the best way to watch out for scams is not to be a scam artist yourself. You ever thought about that? You got these people opening the churches over the last 100 years, and they don't know nothing about leading people and helping people. And you think they just, fake, and that's the way the church is. No, it's not. That's the way those individuals are. And they have a whole family full of it. Corruption, this and this and this. And with that, I'm going to go on and go into the international affairs area of this talk. I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be talking about this shit that's going on in this world. A lot of people want to because they have to feel excited about what they're doing for themselves, and they peace. Our Wigamamba 011. Man, I wonder what that name means. Peace. What's your name mean? It says I just said peace on Instagram. Rigamba 011. Peace, benevolence. But like I was saying, reason why I'm talking about this cynical ass stuff I'm talking about with all this scam artists and stuff, because like I said, I'm going to talk about international affairs. Well, it ties into that. There's a lot of con artists, scam artists that are journalists and are journalist outfits, that are news outfits. They're complete con artists. I don't have anything to damn do with that bullshit ass mantra called fake news. That's a bullshit ass excuse in itself. That's as much of a con as it came from somebody that's part of that machine. And so what you got to understand is fact-finding missions is how you learn what the fuck is going on in the international affairs and international world. You don't go by 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, 100 hand information. And then you go back and debate people over that. That's the whole basis of what's going on out here right now. A lot of people are caught up with conning themselves. They don't even understand the basics of what politics is about. They don't know the definition. But you notice, you see so much and hear something from them about when it's a presidential election. Now, what that's telling you more about them than any of the bullshit that's coming out their mouth telling you about whatever they're claiming they're telling you about. Because what they tell you is they thought and they think they know everything because they're emotionally driven. Nothing wrong with it. It's exciting. I get it. I'm the one with the political science, not only degree, but in 2 different continents, in 2 different nations, and one of them's a BRICS country. And you can clearly hear that I'm American. I'm a United States of American citizen, born and raised, right? How did I do that? Because I sought out to learn. I wasn't too busy acting like and teaching and stuff. I did my live streams way back then. 2007 through 2009, I was on Ustream doing live streaming. Who did that? Who did that? You know what I'm saying? They didn't even have YouTube live streaming back then. And I was already doing it. You see, this ain't my first book. You can look me up. I had another book called Soul Ties Comic Recall. In fact, it was a series. You see, so with that said, right now these news outfits and all that are giving you biased information in film-like and television series-like reports, and it's not by accident and it's not new. In 2005, when I started my studies for broadcasting and journalism. Journalism was my minor. Broadcasting was the major. You understand? And so, because I already had studied journalism for years. And I was actually working for the university newspaper, writing, helping edit editorials and stuff. So my point is, when you got a grasp on what's going on, they taught us, the first thing they taught us on that level, I already went to school for news, so I already knew. But they taught us, when you get to the university, it was a new perspective. They taught us what's behind the veil. And that is all news since the year 2000 basically was presented as television shows and presented as film-like and totally biased. And it's okay. News journalism is supposed to be objective, to give you the facts. Therefore, you can go do fact finding on your own. You see where I'm coming from? Fact finding missions. Whenever you want to know what the fuck is really going on, get what this is what's going on in the news to say, right? Just get the raw place, time, the players, the actors, or the people, or the groups, or the companies, the nation states. That's the what, when, how, why, and where, right? But you're going to have to cut out a lot of that. And then what you do is you go on your internet, because it's 2025 almost, and you search the police report. You search for the people that are involved, the information, relevant information, and contact them. You find out who the investigators are, the federal investigating outfit, blah, 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 what military, what jurisdiction, and da-da-da-da. Then you find out for yourself what the fuck's going on before you form all these feelings. And that goes for Puff Daddy case. That goes for Israel fighting Iran. You see what I'm saying? Because if not, you don't want to be a laughingstock like a lot of people being emotional wrecks. I mean, you can if you don't care. But what is the sirens that we're hearing about right now? Well, let's look at the affairs. Let's talk about that. I'm going to break this down to you real quick. Now, at the end of this talk, I'm going to break down some spiritual, cosmic energy stuff going on. And it's not just, it's astrological and it's in tune with what's going on with the earth, but it's astronomical and in tune with what's going on the earth. And it coming from me, it's more astronomical than it is astrological. So, but right now, let's stick with what we're talking about. So, we have some different things that have been going on. We're just talking about the elections. Let's do a little bit of that, finish that.
My critique, and maybe the critique of others who criticize the West, is that I don't really differentiate between colonization and imperialism. My critique, and maybe the critique of others who criticize the West, is that I don't really differentiate between colonization and imperialism and racism and white supremacy, feudalism, neo-capitalism, and so on. I don't differentiate these things from each other, and I don't differentiate these things from the culture and the character of the West itself. All of these things are manifestations of Western character. That's what drives these policies and these practices and these ideas. They're all just versions of each other. For instance, the same colonizer mentality is actually applied across every arena in the West. the mentality of exploitation of others' resources and the dehumanization and subjugation of those whose resources they are, while feeling completely entitled. You see this across every sector in the West. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about minerals or precious metals or gems or crops or what have you, or if you're talking about labor, or if you're talking about talent and creativity. These are all natural resources. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about these resources being in another country or being in your own country. Or if you're talking about labor, if you're talking about talent. These are all natural resources. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about these resources being in another country or being in your own country.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, and you are taking a look at just some of the video coming in of the aftermath from that attack by Iran on Israel. Again, 181, that's an estimate, ballistic missiles that came down right there in different parts of Israel. We know there was one death, a Palestinian man who actually appeared to be hit by one of those falling missiles there who passed away. That is the only fatality that is known right now. We know that the Iron Dome did intercept a lot of these missiles, and a lot of people have asked what exactly the Iron Dome is. So I did have a chance to speak with an expert about that, and I do want to bring that conversation to you now. We just spoke, I would say, moments ago here. 181, that's an estimate, ballistic missiles that came down right there in different parts of Israel. We know there was one death, a Palestinian man who actually appeared to be hit by one of those falling missiles there who passed away. That is the only fatality that is known right now. We know that the Iron Dome did intercept a lot of these missiles, and a lot of people have asked what exactly the Iron Dome is. So I did have a chance to speak with an expert about that, and I do want to bring that conversation to you now. We just spoke, I would say, moments ago here. 181, that's an estimate, ballistic missiles that came down right there in different parts of Israel.
Okay, so what I wanted to point out is that that was a direct visual into some of what was going on in Israel. Those ballistic bombs are not the most effective, but you could see that they were being bombed. It just wasn't a light show in the sky. And so we're getting direct reports. And no need to hear the man talk. I want you to remember what I'm trying to show you about the hypocrisy going on with the news, right? And the reporting. And also to encourage you all to do your own research if you care. Otherwise, you picking sides, you choosing, you have to realize everybody's just selfish. Like, everybody's just out here trying to push their own agenda for their own specific group. And you're in the belly of the beast, being in the United States of America and being in any fully developed nation that's under European rule. It's like your mind is, you gotta fight to know what the truth is. If not, you could be hurting other people with your attitudes and your ways and what you stand for, right? Now, we have these international war zones. We're close to World War III. We're not in a Cold World War III no longer. We're in a World War III. It's just we're not in protracted combat where we specifically reside. And so we think that we're exempt. It'll never reach us. And it's like, who cares? Why should we worry? Why should we fear? That's like the clear, it's like a clear aspiration that they want us to feel untouchable. And we be so driven into the ambitions of a career and a life, and we're so driven into keeping up with the Joneses and forming out our lives of dreams, that knowing that people's ability to even think like that is destroyed because of the level of warfare going on where they're at, or because of like the poverty where they live. Some people, like in Haiti or the Congo, it's the poverty. In Burma, it's the poverty. In Palestine, it's the war. In Ukraine, it's the war. In the Congo, it's the poverty and the war. The Congo is the worst, like, most destroyed, one of the most destroyed, Haiti and the Congo. And so, just to give you a perspective on how blessed you really are. But honestly, you can make an impact in this world by picking up your sword, which is the mission of your potential and what you could do to help, whether it's the people around you, because everywhere in the world, especially in the United States, got poverty. So how can you help? Then it's like, how can you lift yourself out of that poverty but help, instead of lifting yourself out and being like P. Diddy? You don't want to be bizarre. You don't want to become bizarre. A lot of people become what they never wanted to in life. You see, I can get on here and fake and give you some super duper spiritual talk that doesn't help you. Or I can play astrological. The moon behind and the Saturn is near Venus and Neptune is crying. So that's why you feel emotional at night. That's why you had 2 dreams. It had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that you're a human being. You had dreams because Saturn and Neptune are next to each other and Pluto took a shit. And so that's why your car crashed. Send your money donation to blah, 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 blah. And that's what's going on in the world. It's like, it's a lot of weirdo type stuff going on. And like, you got to keep yourself from falling under the spell of the mass media, under the spells of the miseducation system or miseducation. You gotta not fall under the spell of misinformation and disinformation of the mass media, or misinformation and disinformation of the alternative media. You also have to stay out of the spell of those so-called would-be spiritualists, right? Who are out there taking advantage of the trends and so-called teaching, and that's the game. That's something that they say, this has been going on forever, I'm gonna do it, this is who I am, and that's what they got the right to do. But I'm saying, watch yourself and take these down-to-earth talks that you can relate with and join the conversations and build. And you know what another big mistake a lot of you are making, and I'm telling you, it is stupid. We all follow people on social media and in the regular media, right? Even entertainers, sports people, politicians. But you have to remember, they don't most of the time even know you exist. They don't know you exist. You don't mean anything to them. No matter how much you got out of that message, that campaign, whatever it was, you don't mean anything to them, because they'll just appreciate you if you come up saying this and this, and otherwise you don't exist. Or if you purchase somebody, look, I purchased, you don't exist, you have to pay for that love. Is it really love? So you got to find people like me, just people that are believing in themselves and whatever they're doing, you got to join them. You got to show them what you got and they'll join you, and now you're synergizing. And that's why you have people that make it in the world, they get that. They're not looking outside of who they are. They're manifesting through that law of attraction I was talking about earlier and the other principles. But it's not getting stuck on fandom. Did you know the word fan means fanatic? They're not getting fanatical about being part of a specific group or joining a specific group or wishing they could join, calling into their live streams and commenting, and they never say nothing to your comments and stuff. Why would you take yourself through that? It's just like paying thousands of dollars to follow somebody tour, an artist tour, and they don't even know you exist. About time you a female, you in love with him. About time you a male, you in love with that female singer, whoever. About time you make it to the back, finally backstage, you going to the party, and they're in an orgy having sex with all these other people, and you was wishing that you was gonna be special. This is you want to kind of be a little bit brighter than that type of mentality, especially on these social media streets. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have a feeling for yourself. You got to feel yourself. You really do. And you need, people got a problem. Like I was saying earlier, they taught us that people are not going to learn how to build trust anymore because of social media. They're going to learn how to build relationships, not learn how to conversate. They're not going to learn how to join energies and synergize and grow businesses. And it's all going to be taken away at the advent of social media. And that's what's going on. It's already went on. And so this is the tragedy of losing out on your highest potential. Like, you only have so much time. You only have so much time, period, because how fucked up the international scene is right now. With basically the big world war. Did you know just yesterday the international portsmen of the United States of America, part of that union, which is actually international, they're protesting and not working? I just went into multiple grocery stores. Entire areas were literally empty. Entire areas already, just one day. For that place, that store, just in this little small area where I live, to be affected that quick, they said they more than likely going to take a month to be able to figure this out, to come to agreements. Hopefully 2 weeks. I don't know, but people are crazy, you know. So are you in a consciousness for yourself? You know what I'm saying? Or do you just want to be on a social media live stream where somebody's talking about P. Diddy? I could talk about P. Diddy. I know a lot about that. I worked for Sony way back in the 90s. I got to go to NY and be put up in an apartment and do all this work. I didn't work for no P. Diddy or nobody, but I worked for Sony. Then I got with Def Jam West. So I got to come back to Cali. You see where I'm coming from? I know everything about that shit, man. Like, we all knew Puff Daddy and Quincy Jones had everything to do with getting Tupac killed. That's right, Quincy Jones. Didn't know that, did you? Oh yeah, I just broke it down right in front of your face to let you know. I work for Sony. We work with different groups, you know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes, helping to engineer that. Killer Army, one of Wu-Tang's. It was like a teenage group with Wu-Tang. Destiny Child, a few of their songs we held with some rock groups. You know what I'm saying? We were doing a lot of engineering and events. And I did street team work. But I was at all these industry parties, and we knew what was going on. We knew what was going on with Beanie Man, and you know what I'm saying? We knew all this shit that was going on globally with the different music, dance hall, soca scenes. I got to go through all that, man. I got to get more out of the music industry than a lot of artists that you know of, because they're reluctant to just doing shows in that little arena thing that they in group of people. That I got to go into the different scenes. You know what I'm saying? And so I could talk about that, but I don't want to talk about that yet. I want to show the war zones. Let's. You saw a little about that.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, and you are taking.
We are seeing some intercepts on the other end of me here. I'm going to see, Byron, if you can get off the tripod there. You can see some of these interceptor missiles, it seems, going into the air right now, into the sky.
They're reluctant to just doing shows in that little arena thing that they in group of people. So I got to go into the different scenes. You know what I'm saying? And so I could talk about that, but I don't want to talk about that yet. I want to show the war zones. Let's. You saw a little about that.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, and you are taking...
We are seeing some intercepts on the other end of me here. I'm going to see, yep, Byron, if you can get off the tripod there. You can see some of these interceptor missiles, it seems, going into the air right now, into the sky.
They're reluctant to just doing shows in that little arena thing that they group of people. Now I got to go into the different scenes. Yo, I got something to work on this equipment and the audio in. So y'all gotta excuse me, but I want to show the awards. No, let's. You saw a little about that.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, and you are taking...
We are seeing some intercepts. Other end of me here. I'm going to see, yep, Byron, if you can get off the tripod there. You can see some of these interceptor missiles, it seems, going into the air right now, into the sky.
They're reluctant to just doing shows in that little arena thing that they I got to go into the different scenes. Yo, I got something to work on this equipment and the audio in. So y'all gotta excuse me, but I want to show the awards. Let's saw a little about.
We are seeing some intercepts on the other end of me here. I'm going to see, yep, Byron, if you can get off the tripod there. You can see some of these interceptor missiles, it seems, going into the air right now, into the sky. I can see at least 3 of them right now. We're facing, the camera's now facing south. So you can see 4. We're seeing a 5th one.
Y'all see this?
In the air. And these appear to be, this is very similar to what we saw in April. I was in Jerusalem at the time.
Iran bombing them, right?
These various interceptors lighting up the night sky as they headed to intercept those various missiles and drones.
Jeremy, while you're seeing that in northern Israel, we want to go back to Jim Sciutto in Tel Aviv, who is seeing something similar. Jim.
Dana, we're seeing them coming from multiple directions here. To my left, which is just to the north, and to my...
Facing south. So you can see 4. We're seeing a 5th one.
Y'all see this?
In the air. And these appear to be, this is very similar to what we saw in April. I was in Jerusalem at the time.
Iran bombing them, right?
These various interceptors lighting up the night sky as they headed to intercept those various missiles and drones.
Jeremy, while you're seeing that in northern Israel, we want to go back to Jim Sciutto in Tel Aviv, who is seeing something similar. Jim.
Dana, we're seeing them coming from multiple directions here. To my left.
What y'all need to know is that everything we're seeing going on internationally is going to affect our food supply, our financial amount, etc., especially after the new president is decided in 2025 going forward. There will be danger in the air. It seems redundant right now because that's the way it's pitched to you. It's not the same game with different players being presented to us. The United States is not controlling everything any longer. The United States is in serious threat internally and externally. Like Rome and like ancient Egypt was before they fell. You understand? We are in serious dire times. Again, you can call in at 909-446-2388. That's 909-446-2388. We are in the Inland Empire in the United States of America and California, of course, the Inland Empire. Drop a dime, call in, feel comfortable to call, say what you want. Friends and frenemies. You know what I'm saying? Business people, call in. Talk about what you want to talk about because there's a whole lot more to talk about than just the elections and P. Diddy. I hope you guys realize the cartel is a real thing and the United States is threatening their existence and their control over the masses of people in Central America and in the United States. So that's a big war going on in the United States. You understand? And you have to also understand the United States as his hands and is the power behind the nation of Israel, which you see just got bombed by Iran. I just showed it to you. I proved it to you. I didn't say it. I just took the time out of your night and day to prove it to you. So now let's look at something else going on internationally. Yo, so that's my new song. Before we go any further, that's my new song. That's right, it's a soca vibe, soca / hip hop vibe. You know what I'm saying? That song will be dropped November 1st. The music video will be dropped December 1st. Yeah, so you know, doing it like that, gotta big up Vandross, the Angolan dance king, Vandross. We know about you out here in California. We know about you. We see how you stepping. We see how brother, you know what I'm saying? This brother down in Angola, Vandro, yo, it's crazy because nobody's dancing like that. You know what I'm saying? So, November 1st. You gotta appreciate this brother in his dancing, and he is a army of dancers. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on my live stream, man, because I would like to interview you, man, because it's crazy. It's really crazy how you get down, man. Like, I wouldn't expect you to be able to dance like that. I mean, you are one of the best dancers on, like, you're one of the best dancers out there on the internet, period. Like, I can say that, and it's legitimate, the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's
get hard, get wet, get rich. Life ain't no bitch. First off, place blame ad hoc, who's fault? Got a glitch. Evolve, must change for growth. Oh no, I ain't trying to drop. All talk, won't squash, one grave, no walk. Watch it fall off.
You get rich is digital capital,
Social media,
crypto wowing them. So, you know, that's my new drop. That's my new song that I'm dropping. David Dimitri live in color. Gotta liven up the place. It's enough of that, all that sour and negative energy in the music. We need the positive music. We need to believe in ourselves and feel good about ourselves, inspire others, and that's what I do. I keep it positive with the music. Of course, I will bring through some liberation music, some freedom music for the people. But you know, I gotta keep it positive and irie. Go. So, you know, check that out. Be dropping November 1st. That's right, before the new year, 2024 drop. So I'm definitely gratitude to everybody wherever you out in the world doing your thing. Yo, we keeping the vibes. We doing the energies. You know what I'm saying? We doing what we doing, but at the same time, we also are like we also talking about some real stuff going on in the world, because it's absolutely ridiculous, all the poverty going on around the world. So, you know, if we're going to drop some music, we're going to do some liberation music, some music for the people, some dance inspiration, because we have to recognize we're living in trying times around the world. Everything's not free in the hand, and we got people that's growing up in poverty and people that are struggling. We got people that got everything in the world taking advantage. You got culture vultures stealing people's culture and making all the money they can off of other people supposed to be making their money off of. You know what I'm saying? How fair is that? That's real ridiculous. You know, it's bizarre. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just zone out. I don't let it really like control me, all that hardship in the world. But you know, I grew up in poverty. I grew up in the struggle. You know, we all family. You know, and we all doing things together. That's what I do internationally. Like all them years I spent going to school in Africa, I learned a lot. And going to school in Jamaica and around the Caribbean, like I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Americans don't get to do what I did, and it helped me. I even went to school in Europe. You know what I'm saying? It helped me to just realize just how real it is. Because I grew up in poverty, so we knew that people in Africa knew our struggle, and South America knew our struggle, and this. But times change. You living in the belly of the beast. The technology is everywhere, and it's just like I had to go back. I had to go to Africa to get reminded of certain things. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to like the Caribbean to get reminded of certain things. It's just like, oh wow, yeah, I remember that's how my grandma and them had it. That's how my great grandma and them have it. But it's people right now that have it like that. And just like here, it's people like Mark Zuckerberg. He got everything. He got it made. I'm not saying he don't work hard and got struggle, but everybody, come on now, everybody would like to be in somebody like that shoes, be feeling high in the air. You just like in Angola, like Vandro. To me, you the best dancer of Angola, period. That's what I know you to be. In my mind, that's who you in my heart. And it's like, I know I was listening to Angolan and different African music for decades because my aunts married African men. And so I got introduced to a lot of different culture growing up that other African Americans didn't. Other people in America didn't, period. And it was like, I know there's some fly, great artists and this. And it's like, or footballers, you know what I'm saying, soccer players, or whatever they do, they got so much prosperity, they have so much good, so much benefit from it. It's admirable. And they live a life that everybody wish, but sometimes that clouds people's minds to not be able to relate with the people they have right there with them. You see what I'm saying? They don't desire to like build with those that are right there with them. And when you don't, if you can't reach out to those right there with you, and you can't build right there with those with you, it's either God choosing you because those people are so corrupted and you're not corrupted, so God growing you there but taking you out of there, or it's something going on with you that's not all right. It's either one of those two things. And I challenge whomever you are to figure that out about yourself, because like I said, this brother I keep bringing up, he's on my Instagram right now. He's on the live stream. Vandross is like, he had no inhibitions, and he just let the whole world see he was an incredible dancer, teacher of dance, blah, 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 reached out to the whole world, but he reached out to the people around him first. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. Don't think it's just on the internet. Reason why you don't see me doing live streams a lot is because I'm always doing stuff in the community where I live. You see what I'm saying? And I hope you can understand English clear enough, whoever you be. But I want you guys to start sharing my live streams and sharing what I'm doing, because I'm trying to build here to help people to travel the world like I did. I'm trying to help the people in these less fortunate situations that like I grew up with, but that is in these Southern California streets, that's in these Southern California communities, that we can bring them to Angola, that we could bring the Angolians here to dance and to teach or whatever, because I feel that's what one of my destiny callings is. But I feel I have to do it right here first, and that's why I'm so active in my community and always have been. Even when I got to Africa and Jamaica and around the Caribbean, I was active with NGOs, non-governmental, volunteering with schools, whoever was doing whatever, I wanted to be part of it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's an important thing I wanted to point out. I have to keep talking about the issues at hand with the politics. Like I just showed a video about about what's going on in Israel, right? Also, I just showed the video about what's going on with Iran, Israel, but I also want to share something else with you. So let me share this with you. Don't forget, like I said, my book, Outline to Empowered. My book, Outline to Empowered, is coming out by December, outline to empower what to do and how to do and what to know for evolutionary living. That's my book. That's coming out. Just keep following me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? November 1st, my song is going to drop. You just heard a little bit of it. But let me share back to the teachings because I want to give everybody a head up on what's going on in these international affairs. I just shared with you what's going on with Israel. That's some real scandalous stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Real scandalous. Israel, you know what I'm saying? In the Holy Bible, it says that there will be those in Revelation, I think it's chapter 2 or 6, one of them. It says that it will be those that claim they are Jews, but they are not. But they are of the synagogue of Satan. So you judge for yourself some people that's out here warmongering, killing up people, and taking up all the resources for themselves greedfully, and using the media to put down different races of people and to instigate people to fight amongst each other. Now you tell me who would be the synagogue of Satan that is claiming themselves to be something that they're not, a people that they are not. You see what I'm saying? You judge for that for yourself. But there's a lot of other international issues I wanted to share today with my people because we all people, you know what I'm saying? Rastafari proves that. Let me share this with you.
In Taiwan, a delicate peace looks a little more fragile. The self-governed island has a new leader, one China sees as a reckless separatist.
There's a delay. That's why I'm taking so long to show this.
In Taiwan, a delicate peace looks a little more fragile. The self-governed island has a new leader, one China sees as a reckless separatist. For 2 days, Beijing tried to show the world how it could and would wage and win a war here. This is Keelung, a naval base. The closest Beijing's aircraft got to Taiwan's coast was about 45 miles from here. Wu has seen decades of tension. To him, it feels like a farce.
Do you think conflict with China is a real possibility?
China is huge. Taiwan is just such a tiny place. One lake in China is 10 times bigger than Taiwan. Do you think this land is of any benefit to them?
But to Beijing, it is critical. Reunification inevitable. The latest drills, punishment for Taiwan talking about 2 separate countries. It is about more, though, than just vitriolic bluster.
There is definitely a sense here that if Beijing was to make a military move, it would be catastrophic. But there is also a kind of fatigue that seems to have set in, particularly among young people, a sort of collective roll of the eye every time the rhetorical cannons are fired.
Back in the harbour, everyone's looking elsewhere, trying to tune out of chat about China.
After so many years of military exercises, people have just become used to it, and they don't think China will actually attack.
I'm more worried about China influencing and infiltrating Taiwanese politics than I am about war.
But the US says Beijing may be on track to be ready to attack Taiwan by 2027.
Do you think that Beijing is preparing for war?
Certainly, yes. China is preparing for war. based on the number of military ships and the hiring of new recruits. It's all for self-defense and Taiwan.
Conflict looks very costly and risky for Beijing right now, though. It may well opt to just squeeze this island rather than seize it. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News, Taipei, Taiwan.
Okay, so I needed to share that with y'all because there's a lot at stake here. A lot of y'all don't know, but Taiwan is the most important producer of a specific type microchip programming technology that all telecommunication, all computer needs. Now, the Congo is where the most important natural resource, cobalt, is produced. More than anywhere else in the world is in the Congo. Now, most of that goes to Taiwan. And in Taiwan, they produce the technology that is used for all the most important, for telecommunications, and yada, 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 and all of what keeps the internet going, all that's in Taiwan. Meanwhile, Taiwan is those that were ran out of China in the early 1900s. You have to understand what that means. So they're considered part of China to China, and so it's basically could tip over at any point and become a huge war with the United States being a conglomerate of Taiwan, an investor in Taiwan, and a protector of Taiwan. They basically have been trying to make Taiwan its Israel of Asia. Now, South Korea is the United States Israel of Asia. Fact. And that is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Along with Japan being the United States Israel of Asia. But China is a whole nother ball game. And as you've seen with South Vietnam, it wasn't going to go down that way. So the same with Taiwan, I doubt it. They allow that to happen. China's not going out like that. And let me share more of you about that, because think about the fact of what's going on in Ukraine and what's going on in Israel right now. Right now. Think about that. And then think about what's going on in Taiwan, which is just as much as dangerous. Trust, it is. Again, there's a delay, so I have to wait. It'll be better for you.
9月25日8时44分，中国人民解放军火箭军向太平洋相关公海海域成功发射一发携载训练模拟弹头的。
For the first time in decades, China has publicly acknowledged that they have successfully launched an intercontinental ballistic missile into the Pacific Ocean. ICBMs typically have a range greater than 5,500 kilometers and are designed to carry nuclear warheads. China's latest ICBM is a DF-41 as per South China Morning Post reports. As per the report, the DF-41 first came into service in 2017, and it has an operational range of up to 15,000 kilometers. This means it's well capable of reaching the US mainland. This is the first time in 44 years that China is known to have successfully conducted an atmospheric test of an ICBM. This unusual test is likely to raise international concerns about the country's nuclear buildup. This especially because China normally prefers to test their missiles unannounced in isolated provinces like Inner Mongolia, as per analysts. After 1980, most of China's nuclear weapons tests have been underground. The fact that they had new testing requirements shows the pace at which their nuclear modernization is happening. The PLA rocket force, which oversees the country's conventional and nuclear missiles, has been tasked with modernizing China's nuclear forces in face of increased animosity with the United States, improved missile defenses, heightened US surveillance capabilities, and their strengthened alliances with other countries. Some analysts also say the speed of China's nuclear buildup is much beyond credible minimum deterrence. This is the smallest strategic arsenal needed to prevent attacks. PLA is catching up with major nuclear powers by fielding a nascent triad of weapons that can be fired from land, sea, and air. China has been criticized by the US for the opacity of its nuclear buildup. As per Pentagon reports, China has over 500 operational nuclear warheads in its arsenal, of which 350 are ICBMs. By 2030, they are expected to have over 1,000 warheads. The US and Russia have 1770 and 1710 operational warheads. Other countries who have operational ICBMs are France, India, UK, Israel, and North Korea. Earlier this year, India joined a select group of the world's top nuclear powers by mastering the ability to put multiple warheads atop a single
Okay, checking that out. I just wanted y'all to see for yourself, to have an idea of what you think a gun is, isn't. That ain't a gun. What you think a war is, isn't. Earlier, I showed footage of the bombings going on in Israel and footage of Israel doing bombings. Iran let you know they're not playing. And Putin spoke out and let you know he's not playing when it comes to Iran. I'm going to show you that. Because I want to touch with how this affects our economic options. And also, I want to remind you that the International Longshoremen Union went on strike. Not only on the East Coast, throughout the entire United States, in Alaska, in Hawaii, the protectorates in the Pacific and in the Atlantic, like Puerto Rico and Samoa, etc. You understand what's going on? And I went to a couple of stores and they already had food missing, so I called for their manager. They thought I was going to complain or something. I asked them what was wrong, whether they had anything to do. Before I can even say it, was like the longshoremen, the strike. And I was informed by someone that's a member a month ago that it would happen, and it would take only 24 hours for it to affect stores, and you would start seeing it. They're estimating that the protest from the longshoremen won't get negotiated into agreement for a week, two, throughout an entire month. Do y'all realize what that means? Don't none of us have, and I'm confident that none of us have gardens enough to feed ourselves, let alone anybody else. So we sure don't have fields. We don't got no fishing nets to feed everybody. Because a fishing pole, you better get lucky if it's a local lake. But hope you can get to the river and to the ocean with a net, because it's a lot going on. And I just wanted to point that out earlier. Like I said, I showed about Israel and Iran. I didn't talk. I showed. I didn't get opinionated. I showed. And I'm going to show you more. I suggest that people understand the power that, it's taught to us to criticize opposition of the United States and the opposition to Israel and the opposition to the EU, any leaders. So instead of looking at them as a leader, you got to realize subconsciously you don't see them as a leader and you don't see them as powerful. But those that travel enough realize that there is immense levels of power throughout this entire world, not just in Israel and the United States. So I'm going to show you what Putin had to say, his warning. And this of what Putin said preceded the bombings of Iran bombing Israel. There's a delay, as I said, and so I just like to give the delay a little chance before I play a video. Peace, benevolence to everybody on the Instagram. Jamar, what up? Peace, Dr. Montgomery, Ali Grant. You know what I'm saying? Vandros from all the way in Angola. Gratitude to you. Rig Guamba 001. Peace, benevolence. Yeah, let me share this with y'all.
Речь идет о том, чтобы принять решение о том, что
if this decision is taken, it will mean nothing less than the direct involvement of NATO countries, the United States, and European countries in the war in Ukraine. This will be their direct participation, and this, of course, will significantly change the very essence, the very nature of the conflict. This will mean that NATO countries, the US, and European countries are at war with Russia. And if this is so, meaning the essence of the conflict changed, we will take the respective decisions corresponding to the threat we are facing.
Gotta respect Putin. You have to respect Vladimir Putin. You have to understand power. When you understand power, you respect that and you make this important to yourself, especially if you're a man. If you're a man, you need to understand the importance of power. Not flashiness, not glamour, not so-called success. But if you grasp the understanding of power and what it is and what it does, then you respect yourself more and you have a better respect for circumstances. You have an understanding of outliers and how they affect your life and how outliers affect circumstances. So when I'm showing you this, you see the value of it and understand, hold on, this is going to affect our economy immediately. The longshoremen are protesting. It's affecting our food supply. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. We're about to have another president, a new president. How will that end up? You know what I'm saying? We already have the world going into a whole new economic system, a strictly digital economic system we're headed toward. Are you adapted to that? Do you need help to get adapted to that? You see, you need to get prepared. Are you preparing for food shortages? Are you financially prepared? Are you practicing your Second Amendment rights? Are you in the ranges? Are you getting the training? Do you have your right to carry, your legal right to carry? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to end up in a prison protecting yourself. You don't want to end up not protecting yourself and your children and your loved ones. You also have to protect your bank. So there's a lot that comes into mind to understand the importance of understanding and respecting power. You know what I'm saying? It's a serious thing. And so you have to understand wherever you're at in the world that power is something to pay attention to. So no matter how much of a party person you are, you also got to make a decision. Are you a selfish capitalist or are you a down-to-earth grassroots person that want to help people, or are you a balance of them both? Because we need more of a balance of them both. You can call in at 909-446-2388. You'll be heard loud and clear. If you drop comments, I will read them, give you recognition if you want, over the air, and I will give my 2 piece about the comment. That's why I'm doing this, is to inform others. And yes, of course, like I said, my book will be dropping. Outline to Empower, How to Do and What to Know for Evolutionary Living. And I'll go a little bit more into that later. But right now, My song just dropped. It is dropping officially November 1st. It will be released on all platforms. My newest drop. Y'all didn't even know I was a music artist. Y'all thought I just looked like this. And this is a positive energy, self-affirming song. Not all that hard, trying to be hard, or gangster. Not all that trying to be competitive. So it's a party soca vibe, soca music.
Crime Up International, now's perfect time. Vibrate with the going loud, enhance your shine.
So it's a good old school soca vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Vibrate with going low.
For the carnival.
Prime up on 'em, smooth on the come up. David Dimitri is live in color. Prime up on 'em.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just letting y'all I'm doing it. Again, 909-446-2388 is a call-in number. Y'all will be seeing the post on the Instagram and on David Dimitri Live in Color on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe, because we will be going full time with David Dimitri Live in Color ASAP, full time, doing a lot of pre-record videos, giving you game. I'm going to be talking with a lot of financial astute people. Hopefully I can get brother Jamar Montgomery on. I would love to send the link and have him, me and him. Because, see, this brother right here is astute, well-known, versed, internationally traveled, and involved completely in the cryptocurrency. He's a bona fide success. He is a bona fide attorney, also an international success, not just in cryptocurrency, but in the use, a helder and help the use of blockchain for governance, for world, local, state, federal, and world governance. So he's a total future leader for blockchain and crypto. Globally known, globally traveled, globally teaching and speaking, etc. So that's somebody I would like to bring on the show. You know what I'm saying? So we would love to have you come on, mash the place up, you know what I'm saying, brother? And also, we would like to bring on Vandross. He's on the Instagram too. The brother is a world-renowned and travel dancer for his specific Angolan culture. You know what I'm saying? He rocked the house. Definitely blow your mind. You wouldn't even know. You don't even know. Trust me. The dance is you ain't gonna be able to stand still just being around this brother. This brother's dancing is off the hook. You just follow him on Instagram, just like you could follow Dr. Jamar Montgomery on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. Let me show you. You just heard what Putin said. I didn't want to follow up just talking about that. I'm pretty confident you guys got to realize it. But I want to show you something. And this is the type of stuff you got to watch for. You got to put in perspective. It's something I really wanted to share with y'all. But I did share with y'all a little bit going on in Israel and China to let y'all know that I do know and I do see it. And I know y'all do know and I know y'all do see it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we don't stress yourself and worry yourself about the third world war that we're in. And it's no longer a cold third world war. And don't worry about the earth shaking and the big blast going off and you getting incinerated. It's not going to happen no time soon. But I'll tell you this. Everything's incremental, whether it's coming up or whether it's falling apart. Diddy, you see what's going on with Diddy. That was incremental. It took them years to get him. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing to you. You have to incrementally start prepping. And so the best way, and one of the best preppers here, is a brother that talks about the Second Amendment. Again, Dr. Jamar Montgomery. And I'm pretty sure brother over in Angola and Rig Wamba 011, like, you have to have your protections for your home, blah, blah, blah. That's part of prepping. But you also have to know how to save yourself and others if something medically comes down. So what if it's not only a food shortage? What if there's a water outage? What if there's electricity outage? What if there's no medications to get? And all these people are used to these medications. and I'm talking about those of us in the United States of America, you know how crazy people would be acting or how sick people would be getting? And this is what you have to realize. And then another thing you should be prepping for, and I don't care whether you want to see Donald Trump win or Kamala Harris that dropped out of the sky. Well, regardless of who you want to win that race, somebody's going to lose, and some people are going to act a fool from both sides, right? You have to understand that if Donald Trump's people decide to nut up, and I'm not talking about the black ones, I'm talking about the white nationalists that are part of militia groups, or white nationalists that are just random group families and homies and whatever. These people have so much weaponry, and they've been throwing so much threats because I actually get on their sites under a pseudonym, and I get to not only listen and watch and read and hear, but also I can go in here and grab my equipment, which are usually known as CBs. I can listen in on what they're saying there. So those of you that are Black American, you think you super spiritual or whatever and too good or super artistic and dancing and whatever you in and you cool and swag, you're gonna get you better get ready. Because it's not gonna happen overnight, so it's gonna keep making you think it's never gonna happen. You see. And I'm just speaking, I'm giving you a chance. I'm not gonna keep talking about this type of shit. I gotta give a care about myself. I gotta worry about some black people acting a fool. We all know that some of our people are crazy. So my thing is, for my listeners, I want you in the United States to get prepared for the potential of people acting a fool in the Midwest and South, and it becoming an entire United States law and order issue. Because without law and order, public health would go away, and then everything would fall apart. So if it becomes a law and order issue because these thousands, if not millions of people are nutting up, tripping, going physically violent, and even killing those around them in the Midwest and South and East Coast, if you lived on the East Coast, you know it's just as racist. Eventually it's going to hit here because there's plenty of Hispanics in Southern California especially, and in Texas and in Arizona, but especially in California, that joined the white nationalist groups years ago. So as bizarre as some of this stuff might sound to you got to know it's not going to happen overnight, so it's going to make you feel like he wasn't talking about shit. But what happens is it's called incrementalism. It's little by little. So eventually it'll reach wherever you at in the country. And then with the threats of World War III, which I've been showing you, you piecing it together? Y'all seeing where I'm coming from? So you got to get ready for this incremental decline. The best way to get ready is to take advantage of the crisis through investment. And put yourself in a position where you're shielded by your prosperity, because it said if you believe in the Lord, then you will be prospering thereof. Because the Lord prospers, because the Lord is of abundance. The Lord isn't of lack. So you have to be prepared. And then you can practice your Second Amendment rights legally and get your right to carry like me. And I walk around looking like this. I know I'm probably the most unique, different looking man. Dudes be like grabbing a woman by the back of the neck when I walk in. Not because I'm the best looking man, but I'm too unique. It's just too much to deal with from some men. I be having to deal with all kind of weird shit, like cops wanting to prove themselves they off the job. They be stalking me and driving and following me. White supremacists following me, and black dudes thinking because I'm light-skinned that it's easier for me. You get that stupid shit out your mind, man. This ain't no 1960s. Get stupid ass shit out your mind. Get to investing, get your money, and protect yours. Because we all going through some strange shit. You see? So you're not the only one, but you got to practice your rights. Right to invest, yada, 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 whether you're going to be passive, whether you're going to be aggressive, whether you're going to be investing in other people's businesses. You know what I'm saying? You can invest in marijuana. You can invest in hemp legally. You could do whatever you're going to do. But you need to get your chips in order because you on this chessboard. And you need to get yourself in a position because incrementally shit is going bad, but it's speeding up. You know what I mean? And so I'm not on that get food and water and all that. I got that already, right? That's not the issue. What I'm with is strategic relocation. Y'all know about that? Well, if you travel, you do. So a lot of people think they're preparing for, like, they think they're preparing for a downfall or a mass interruption of our society by buying water and learning to go back to nature, and it's just, that ain't gonna work, man. The enclaves in the mountains, wherever you are, the white people ain't gonna let nobody black up there. And I'm gonna put it to you like this. A lot of Hispanics are gonna be killing up blacks on sight. Because they already do the shit they do because they prove themselves. I got a gang of Mexicans and Ecuador. I beat these people's countries with them. They're like, cool, they love me, right? And I'm telling you, it's a ranking thing for them. If I fuck with a black and I do something wrong to a black, I get up. I go up. I get more respect. I get more. You see what's going on? There's people like that. Not all Hispanics and Latinos, but obviously it's an enclave of people like that in the United States, and that's why they're doing so good. Because they got the ones amongst them that do the dirty work. And then there's the ones that were already here that cut the deal with the white supremacists. And so we're living decades later, and the shit is still going on. So what the hell do you think they're going to do if the longshoremen keep up this strike and the food start going out? They're going to beat you in the head because you getting out the store with the tissue. They're going to beat you in the head for the tissue. They're going to get you fired off the job. It don't matter how much ass you licking. It ain't going to help you. It ain't going to help your black ass. You got to prepare. You got to invest and get money. And I'm going to tell you, sitting up growing your own food ain't going to do it. You're not ruthless enough. You got to be ruthless. You are not ruthless enough. You're going to have to be ruthless. And then you got blacks that's jealous of other blacks. You think that's going to go away? Somebody that was fucking hating on you. You know what I'm saying? A woman that's jealous because you left her or wouldn't be with her. What you think she going to do? All them dudes now that she been sitting up licking on them and all that shit, she going to send them after you. Oh, that's blah, blah, blah. Let's kill him. That stuff going to be going on. So what I'm telling you is we're not near that yet. But you got to think like this sometime to say, this is the purpose of me investing and getting this money. So instead of spending all that money partying, and now they gotta spend that money partying enough, but going to the gun range and investing into your specific strategic type of weaponry you need for specific scenarios that will come up when this shit hit the fan. But then also invest into your visas and your second citizenship that you leave the United States with the other financial elites. Why would you stay in the United States if you can come, get safe for a period of time, and then come back? Think about it like that. You're gonna get back. So that's the reason why I'm showing you all this about all this shit going on with all these countries going to war. I just showed you the videos with Taiwan earlier. I showed you the videos with Israel. I showed y'all the videos going on with Israel and Iran bombing them and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to realize that these war zones are real. The Congo is fucked up, man. The Congo is fucked up. What's the point? Watch this. In 2009, about almost 5 months, I had to go to Geneva. And we were back and forth from Geneva and Davos, and we were all around there. It's a cool place. We went to nature and stuff too. But we're in there doing mock United Nations, not debates, but what's called the mock United Nations debates. And like, I got to see all the videos of the destruction that happened during World War II, the stuff that they don't show you. Like they were raping themselves, raping women. You see? And my point is that you have to understand that the stuff going on in the Congo and Haiti are real, because there was a filmmaker that came. He was from Poland or somewhere like that. Jewish dude. Kid was cool, man. He hooked me up with some good weed. Like, so what happened was, he showed his movie. It was part of something he showed for all of us that were teachers and students and stuff. And like, his whole documentary was based off a city in the United States and how the rest of the world economy, the rest of the United States and the rest of Europe is going to end up just like this city. Now, it's the city that I was born in, the city where I lived a lot of my life in. Now, all of us are sitting there and they looking over at me like, ain't you from there? I'm like, this is crazy. And he's showing my high school, one of my high schools, showing neighborhoods and shit that I lived in. I done seen people die in them neighborhoods and shit. And them sitting here in the fucking auditorium looking up the screen, and they were showing multiple films in this film, and everybody like, yo, what's up? You know, that's your homeboy? Like, I don't even know him. So it was called, I forgot the name of the film, but that was the basis, that city was how the rest of all of Europe and the Western United States would end up like. And the city is called the city of San Bernardino. It's in Southern California, the city of San Bernardino. Think about that. How you telling me that's not karma? That I wasn't experiencing karma and that I wasn't getting a divine message of prophecy? Yes, I was. Just a year or two later, 2 years later, 2011, I had moved to working for the federal government in D.C. You know, I ain't got no high expectations. I went to the Million Man March in '95. I've been to D.C. off and on for years. I'm not thinking much of it. I'm going down there and partying. I already know. I'm contacting my cousins, boom, 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 down in Baltimore. It's going to be on. We going to do it, but I got to work. I'm not going to let them pull me off my course. I got to get my money, but blah, 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 right? So a fucked up situation happened where we were down on my homeboy house off on U Street. I had this spot. We had partied all night. It's about 3 o'clock. We barely getting up. So we get on the bus. We about to go down to go get some food. The homegirls are going to buy us the food. Blah, 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 blah. We just happy. We chilling. We doing whatever. And a white young lady was on the bus crying. And they like, why is she crying? I don't know. So I'm going to go and see if I can help her. So I started talking to her. She was like, I'm crying because I can't believe how tore up this is. Everything is so poor. Everyone is so poor. Everything is so messed up. And this is supposed to be our country's capital. I'm looking at this white girl with blonde hair, blue-eyed, little reddish hair. I was like, she doesn't even get it. She was from Tennessee, she said. So, you know, I'm just like, wow, she don't get it. I said, you notice all these people are black? She was like, yeah. I said, it's always been like this. I said, they ain't never gave a damn about black people. I said, they ain't never gave a damn about black people. And that's what the mistake was. You know what I'm saying? That was the sin. I was like, this is karma. This is what goes on when you do so much evil. And you can never hide from that evil. You can't get away from it. It eventually will come on to your children's children's children. I'm sitting here telling her this, and she just like staring at me like the tears rolling down her eyes and shit. I was like, they won't even let us fix it. They won't let those, because she was younger than me. I was like, they won't even let those that's younger than me fix it. They won't let you fix it. They want it fucked up. I say, it's all your elders. They're doing this shit. They're fucking everything up for everybody else. And that's why so many people poor. That's why Washington, D.C. is a big fraud and everything. And I say, the United States government is a fucking fraud. It always has been. And that's what it is. It's just good for anybody that wants to be heartless, ruthless, and selfish. And she was fucked up. I said, I'm going to pray for you and everything, and this and this. And I got up and went back with my homies. We were just sitting there, went back to what we was doing. And then my point is, back to that movie I seen, that was about the city where I was from. That was crazy. I'm sitting up in Geneva. I'm in Europe watching this movie, and the guy makes the movie about how fucked up this city is and how the rest of the United States and the rest of Europe is going to end up just like it. And I'm from that city. And I'm going to tell you, I grew up seeing people backs get blown out, heads get exploded. And that's why I didn't get killed, because I knew the shit was real. But some of my homies, they didn't have to see what I seen. They was gangbangers, they was killers and all that, but they ain't never, it didn't dawn on them till too late. They was already caught up. I didn't let myself get caught up. Cause when you see something so early like that, you know that shit is real. You ain't gonna let nobody have you go over their house and you end up getting killed or go in their hood. Or you ain't gonna do this and this to these people because you know they're gonna come back gun clapping. And so this is what happened to the United States. All of its people that had all the money and power got spoiled and got more and more spoiled with generation. They forgot. And all them people in Israel, they got spoiled and they forgot. But because of the foundational black Americans, not nobody else, that fought for all these civil rights, a lot of doors was opened up for women, LGBTQ, and blacks and everything, but it was black heterosexuals that made it happen. But now everybody turned against black heterosexuals. Even black heterosexuals. And so what's going on is, it's called a probate mind. Your mind gets stupid. It's like you depending on your ego, you ego consciousness. You don't got no soul consciousness. We used to be the soul people, soulful. But now you just ego driven. You're materialistic. So when the shit hit the fan, will you be ready? Because the gun clapping ain't gonna save you. It never has. It didn't save me. I'm not here today because I didn't have guns. I'm not here today because I had guns. I'm here today because of and I was blessed. I was in tune. I was in soul consciousness. I wasn't on the ego. So my suggestion is that we recognize and we don't fall into that generational curse of being blinded, because we have to remember the shit is hitting the fucking fan. And no matter how spiritual and how black you want to be and how whatever it is that you're trying to be, don't go into this ego consciousness where you're blinding yourself from other things going on that you need to be aware of. And that's why I said you have to get your money wherever you're at in the world. Get your money and invest it into preparing. You got to have fun, live life, get your woman, make her in love with you. Do your things you do. Get your man, make him in love with you if you're a woman. Do your things you do, but don't be bitch made to the point where you're like dumbing yourself down. And then you look up and you don't even have the money. And you ain't even put yourself invested the money. And you haven't even got the no crypto. You don't have no safe accounts. The government is regulating every fucking move you make. That's why you got to get crypto, so that you don't get pimped by an invisible hand at the end of the year and be clown made. I just went and seen Daphne Springs, the comedian. We stayed up on a 30-something floor because I haven't stayed up in a 30-something or 40th floor in a hotel in years. So I did that just because I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? They had the sauna up there. A massage therapist was there. You know what I'm saying? You do it like that sometimes. You do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like I haven't lived the diamond life. You know what I'm saying? I was with Sony in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? These cats that you heard about and all that shit, I met them back then. It was like the shit with P. Diddy we knew. We knew Quincy Jones and P. Diddy had Tupac killed. We knew Quincy Jones and P. Diddy had Tupac killed. We knew Suge Knight sat there and was paid to allow Quincy Jones and P. Diddy's hitmen to kill Tupac. We knew that. We knew that Tupac was killed by Quincy Jones and P. motherfucking Diddy, whatever you want to call him. You see, y'all think y'all know, but y'all wasn't in the game. Y'all wasn't with Def Jam West. Y'all wasn't with Sony. Y'all wasn't living like that. I'm telling you what, I'm not going to tell nobody else. I never have, because I didn't need no gun clapping. I remember when Tupac's cousin was killed a year after Tupac was killed, because he bear witness of who really did the killing. I was in Vallejo, everybody was talking about Vallejo, California. So yeah, I'm just saying that some of us be knowing shit, but we stay out. I remember I was in Atlanta where not Atlanta, but I forgot what it was called, in Georgia in 1990, right before 97. And it was a conscious event. And it was Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine came in. And this sister I was messing with, she brought me up in there. She was like in a super spiritual before her time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm coming up in there. I got my first head of dreads. I'm sitting there chilling. And I took this little class with Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine. Not even, I know I'm getting filled with this great information, but not even thinking that much of it. I was telling them, yeah, I went to Chicago. I went to go hear Dr. Deborah Blair speak. That's how I met this sister. I'm not even thinking. You know what I'm saying? Now here all y'all, so, you know, y'all dropping their jewels. Y'all learn from them. Y'all, man, before social media existed, I was already 96, 97, man. You see what I'm saying? I already went to Chicago and went to the Deborah Blair Center. He had Jewel Pookrum come speak. This is the level 95. I was at the Million Man March I started a backflip contest. But see, some of us, we see so much bad things. I was in Riverside at the when Khalid Muhammad was shot. You know what I'm saying? He remembered me when they was having a Million Youth March. He hooked me up. I was doing sparring with the new Black Panther Party because I was boxing and kickboxing semi-pro back then. I was sparring with them. Now, I could have been out doing all that, saying I'm all this and that and trying to get y'all and be a compete. Nah, I ain't with that shit. Some of us saying I'm too ruthless. I can't do it. I just don't have the mercy in me to be getting played with like that. Like everybody be playing with each other. But, you know, some of us is more than you think we are. That's all I'm letting you know. You know what I'm saying? Some of us been around. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a little bit how this hand shook Nelson Mandela in his wheelchair when I was studying political economy in Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University in South Africa. World's Debate, Mock United Nations. You know what I'm saying? Before that, I did the programs when I lived in Jamaica at the University of West Indies, etc. People do stuff, but not everybody get famous for it. But it's like being Forrest Gump. Ain't that what he was called? Where he get to go through all this shit. Your life end up like that. That's how you really want to be. You want to get to see y'all be part of all this little shit, but to be the one that never get caught up in it. That never get hurt because of it. And so I'm telling y'all right now, through all that I lived through, and I came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? If I could speak blunt, a nigga had to fucking run the roaches off my plate growing up. I had to keep my cousins from stealing my food off my plate. This is the, you know what I'm saying? We had to keep the Mexicans from getting us in the neighborhoods. This is the life. I was there in the neighborhoods from the 100 down. From the hundreds down in South Central. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? City of San Bernardino, the west side. It was segregated. It was just black. It was black. It was the last unsegregated city in the west of the Mississippi. And I was born into it. I didn't even see anybody but black people in my community or in school until I was in the second grade. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has their own design. You got to see that design, that value, that design. Because like I just showed you what's going on with Taiwan and China and how that affects our economy. How that affects the whole fucking world, because those most important computer products, chips, and programs are developed only in Taiwan for telecommunication, to keep the internet going. That's all Taiwan. You understand? That's what China's fighting for. And if they feel threatened too much, they will fuck Taiwan ass up. I live with Chinese and Taiwan separate. That's a blessing I also went through. And the Chinese that lived around the corner from me in South Africa. And the Tong, look up the Tongs in the United States. Mr. Tong, a professor at the university which I bought the house from and was renting out to the students. Yeah, Kashif, that house. And Kashif Bey is in the house. And so I know Chinese. I know some heartless people, ruthless. It's called the Chinese face. No acknowledgement that you exist until it's time to strike. So if you think that this United States government that is offering you a bum-ass chick and a bum-ass dude to become your president, both of them got a fucked up record, crazy ass motherfucker. Both of them got something good to give and bad to give. You think, I just watched the juniors, the vice presidents, do their public diplomacy, as I call it, a public diplomacy act. And it was pretty clear one of them should be the president and the other one should be the vice president, because Donald Trump, only 2 years younger than Biden, was calling him old and calling him dementia. Donald Trump just knew how to cover it up better with his Byte quoting. Now, Donald Trump has more to offer when it comes to Bitcoin, crypto, and all that. But Donald Trump's simply invested in by complete blah, 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 blah. Pros and cons on both sides. I would rather see those two guys be the president yesterday that debated. I'm not apologetic about that. I know how this shit works. At least they rationalized, they spoke, they had full compassion, they had full control over themselves. One of them doesn't talk so slow and dementia, tired, like they just had sex, that they need everything to stop. That's how she talks. The other one talks in sound bites and repeats and says crazy ass shit that has nothing to do with anything. Now, their policies, their administrators, their advisors, that's who we need to be looking at. I know. There's more to it. But the government is just showing y'all it's out of their hands. It's also telling you, with all these illegal immigrants and all that shit, that's out of their hands. That the shit, what the government is telling you, the shit is so fucked up and out of control that they cannot stop it. And you say, why? Because the cartel, just like in the 70s and 60s, the Italian, Sicilian, and Jewish mafia put all kind of people from their mafias in positions of power in the government. The same thing, the Central American cartels, with an S at the end, cartels, put all kind of Hispanics in kind of different governmental positions. So they can't stop it, but they're keeping up this gimmick. And what y'all need to know, what is World War III? The end of the nation state experiment. The end of the nation state experiment. And if any of you know, if you study politics deeply enough, you know that the United States governing founders, those white men, land-owning white men, slave-owning white men, founders, none of them wanted to do the nation state experiment. None of them was for it. But the economics rulers of Europe, the Rothschilds, forced it because it was the way that they could stay indefinitely in power. And so, with all that said, what was I saying? You need to prepare. You need to be prepping, not for no explosion and the world ends, but for incremental problems, which will affect your day-to-day life, affect your opportunities, affect the plans that you are working, that might reset your life. You need to get ready for that type of shit. At the same time, you got to keep your momentum, get yours in life. You know what I'm saying? I got to get mine. You got to get yours. I got to get mine. Get yours. That's how they go. You know what I'm saying? Honey, diamond, peace, and blessings. Awuchi Productions. Bless. It's love every time we manifest and we dropping the jewels. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Dr. Montgomery, always in the, rocking the place. You know what I'm saying? Kashif Bey. Yo, I got something to show you. Watch this, y'all. I'm going to show y'all something. It's cool. I got something to show y'all. this is a whole nother level, but I want to drop this because I want y'all to be aware of what's going on. This is what you got to look out for.
How do you decrease your jealousy with others? The easy technique that you can try starting today is to rejoice in other people's merits or other people's good deeds. So what that means is anytime you see someone doing good, anytime you see someone's good qualities, acknowledge that. In the beginning, it may not feel so genuine, and that's okay, and that's normal, but continuously keep practicing this. And the more that you do this over and over, slowly but surely your jealousy will decrease, and slowly and genuinely you will start to be happy for others.
All right, yeah. I just wanted to show y'all that because it's a real thing. Y'all got to look out for this jealousy thing, all right? Y'all be up on game about that. That's really what's going on right now because it's a probate mine going on. Y'all know what the probate mine is? The red probate mine? You see what I'm saying? They can't be what you want them to be. It's not going to happen. And so to put pressure on you is to get you to give them space in your time. Giving people space in your time. It's not what you want to do. Don't give nobody space in your time that don't belong. If someone's pressuring you, fight with them. Don't give people time in your space. All right? Yo, Kashif, who's in this video with you? Yo, Kashif, who's in this video with you? Who's there in the background with me? Yo, Kashif, yo, what up, yo? You remember he used to be up there? Yo, that bag was sturdy, yo. We beating the hell out of that bag. Them was the days. We used to be training. Me and Kashif, brother Kashif Bay, we used to be getting the train on. Kashif fast. Kashif is fast. Real fast. So the shit might hit the fan, but remember it's incremental. Yo, that bag was sturdy, yo. We beating the hell out of that bag. Let me show y'all something. I want to give y'all a little something inspirational. Because y'all lifestyle matters to me. Your lifestyle matters to me. You know what I'm saying? ocean. Go out to the investments. Life is filled with investments. Influence in the spotlight. I believe in it. Remember, you can call in 909-446-2388. We all supposed to be working together to make things happen. There's a lot to make happen. So let's let me know where the investments are. If you know where the investment opportunities are, I'll make you know. Contact me. You see my website under that phone number, daviddimitri.com. Benevolence is love every time. Are. If you know where the investment opportunities are, I'll make you know. Contact me. You see my website under that phone number, daviddimitri.com. All right, on another note, I want to bring us back down to earth. Well, we can't go more down to earth than our spiritual devotion. Share something else with y'all that's a little bit radical.
Elite in this land, I got a good word from the living God. What's coming on this land is going to be so quick and so devastating. You all are not going to have time to get to your bunkers and your contingency plans. Best believe that. You see, God's going to give you the light at the end of the tunnel, and He's going to crush you all. So when it happens,
all right, on another note,
you all can just think in your brief seconds before everything comes crashing down that you won't be making it to all your properties that they purchased.
That's a little bit radical.
You all can think about every single human you all sold out to plot and scheme with the evil and power in this world. But you all won't be making it to your bunkers. Best believe that. Best believe it. Take these words to the bank. Watch them mature and yield, gain. You all won't be making it to your bunkers. Because the end of this nation's gonna be like that. And you all think you're getting away with it? You all think you're going to put the common people to death and just retreat in the bunkers that you have and all your properties? That ain't happening. I got news.
All right. I had to drop that to y'all to let you know that let y'all know that there are those that realize the downtrodden and the devolution of Western civilization is excelling at an extreme high rate. It's bizarre what's happening and what's going on. It's not slowing down, and it's not stopping. It's not going to stop. And we really need to recognize that even those that are born of the seed of those that were the beneficiaries of the Western civilization have come out and have sound the siren, ring the alarm. Not a soul is silent. That even those that are the elites that have their bunkers, that have their submarines to hide in, that there is things coming that's going to happen that will disable them from being able to reach their contingency plans and their strategic relocation and escape plans. They are not going to end up where they want, and things are not going to work out how they thought. You just put yourself into the positions of the Confederate whites of the United States from 1801 to 1865. They had no idea. They knew the war was going to happen, but they had no idea of the destruction that was coming up on them. And neither did the North, and neither did the United States realize. So what you have to realize, excuse me, I usually have water here, or at least some wine, but all I got is some popcorn right there. They had no idea and no realization and no acceptance that total destruction was coming in on them. You have to realize 1/4 of the entire white populace of the United States of America was wiped out in less than 10 years in the Civil War. The Civil War was partly fought and heavily fought because the blacks of the South and Midwest and on the East Coast had been revolting. Not just random killings, not just this there. It wasn't just escapes. It was revolts, band together revolts. And they couldn't keep killing off the blacks because of the amount of profit they would lose, because the Jews ran the insurance racket. They put law every time they would kill a black like they used to would before the 1800s. They went into debt with the insurance companies. You understand? Things had changed. You understand? And so you have to understand where we're at right now. It isn't just Donald Trump against Kamala Harris. It's the white wings against the left wings. It's the radicals on one side against the other radicals. Then you have moderate people with moderate lives. You think everybody don't have as much ego as you? There's people with extreme levels of ego that you might even know. I have relatives with extreme levels of ego. Their tolerance level is weak. I knock their ass out. But I'm just saying, like, you got to know that these people that are not black are like, there's a lot of puff daddies and people with these high level egos like Tupac, but they're not gonna fight for what's right like Tupac and Kendrick Lamar. They more ego based. You know, they're not like Bob Marley. They're not like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. These mother suckers they're not like Harriet Tubman's. They like Oprah Winfrey's. You got to come in a room and eat her coochie and do what she say. Kiss her ass and only speak good of her, never disagree, and only laugh at her whack ass jokes. Or you lose your job, your position. It's this ego level. It's this now Donald Trump, me and him have a lot in common when it comes to what we want to see in the world, not just for the United States. I don't deal with just the United States. And I don't believe a leader of this United States should be somebody that only cares about just what's going on in the United States. But they should have a United States interest in most important, of course. But what I'm saying is, ego. White nationalists, white supremacist nationalists, or just anti-black anything. Anti-black anything. Anti-black capitalists that are black, that are melanoids. Let's just use the word melanoids. You got to understand this egomania. When somebody's in a probate mind, they will fuck your ass up. They will fuck you up in the thousands. They'll do something that will have thousands and millions of their own people suffering. You think I'm bullshitting? You know what this is? How does law protect in war? Look at the thickness of this book. This is the book I got in Geneva, in Switzerland. These are all the cases. Document number 26, ICRC. Protection of war victims. Prevention. Guess what case is in here? The case for Assata Shakur. Let me find it. Y'all think I'll just be, some people just be talking when they claim they've been somewhere and did something. If you want to know what this is, the Geneva Conventions, August 12, 1949. The protocols additional to the Geneva Conventions of 12 August 1949. I know war is written all over me. This is the how does law protect in war? The laws of war. I'm not just fucking with y'all. I know all about this shit. Let's find Assata Shakur. Since we talking, she was a strong person, but not an egomaniac. So she's a living legend. Each one of these talks about the chapter 2 on spies, hostilities, section 2, blah, 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 the flags and truces. This talks all about war. Now, you think you want to get the land because you say our indigenous people of Americas, because we're black Americans, we're the indigenous people of the Americas? You're right. But do you know what it fucking takes to establish order and to keep order? Are you ruthless enough to imprison the criminals amongst your own people? All you want to do is be free. Because we're going to need some men and women that are strong enough that the men go out and arrest the criminals and put they fucking asses in prison or put them to death if their crimes deserving of it. So a lot of people that come from the oppressed people don't understand what it takes to be free. It takes war. War is written all over me. You think I lived in Kingston, Jamaica, and Spanish Town, Jamaica for nothing, and grew up in San Bernardino in LA and in Gercy Park, Las Vegas for nothing? War is written all over me. I tried to get away. I tried to get away from the pain. I gave up on it. I just live it. Like Mike Tyson says, there's some pain in us that'll never go away. You see what I'm saying? And so what did the university send me to Geneva to study international humanitarian law? And I'm telling you, right here in this book is the case for Assata Shakur. I should have got prepared for this part of this talk, but I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. Let me see. I would love to find that case. Here goes some of the cases. That's Pakistan. Terrible stuff that people have done because they keep order on the lands that them and their people own. It's impossible to have power over lands without killing some of your own and other people's. It's impossible. People are going to oppose you and your people. People amongst your own people are going to be jealous of your position, or just criminals, violent criminals, rapists, all kind of stuff. You have to be able to keep law and order. And a lot of us that think we want to be free never put that in perspective. Do you have it in you? You need to know this now. Because if the electricity go out and shit, how you going to protect the women? You going to let some Hispanic men come punk you and take your women? Some white men come punk you and take your children? You got to be able to take people out. And that's what the fuck is going on. You need to do that right now in the financial world. You know, trying to be happy and nice and spiritual and all that shit don't pay, man. You got to be ruthless, and you need to start practicing it now. I'm trying to find this Assata Shakur. You got to understand what Assata Shakur is. Assata Shakur is the closest thing you can to Harriet Tubman and Nanny of Jamaica and those sisters over in Haiti and those sisters over in New Orleans that was putting that witchcraft on them white slave masters. That's the closest thing. Assata Shakur and Tupac carry the same name, not for an accident. Some of y'all need to name y'all children by that name because we need more people like that. The world do, not just black people. I'm trying to find this case because it's for her case to be in here, she's that legendary. And you got to realize that woman is fine. You see how good that woman look? How's she gonna be that great? Shot out with cops, broke into prison, saved people, got them out, blah, blah, blah. All this different stuff, man. Fought with the cops, bam, bam, bam. All you can name it. And fine, beautiful. That's crazy. That ain't crazy. That's amazing. That's amazing. And she's sitting over there in Cuba looking beautiful, eating healthy, being happy. I'm happy for her. Are y'all happy for Assata Shakur? Y'all should be happy if you got any liberation in you. If you got any freedom fighter in you. If you got any goodness in your heart, you should be happy for Assata Shakur. Fuck all that bullshit. And then here go the case on Cuba. Cuba, status captured, guerrillas. Talking about the guerrilla uprising during the Cuban crisis. You know what I'm saying? This has all the major cases. Now, will they put this book, there's a more up-to-date version with modern cases. You understand? In the United States, in this book and the newer version, starting from like the 90s up, no, because this book right here ends with about the year 2000, about 2005, I believe. So from that 2005 up, because it covered the Rwanda genocide, this book does. And so you have to understand this is one of the most important things to understand. And when you study international humanitarian law like I did, and you studying all this stuff with how war is, you understand that the men are supposed to be organized and mobilized towards self-defense of any particular group and any people in any spatio-temporal zone, geography, and airspace and water space. You have to be militarized. We're supposed to be not only militarized, we're also supposed to be divinely, specifically trained in specific gifts, talents, and skills to contribute to your specific group of people, whomever you are, in the spatio-temporal zone lands of which you call your own. And you can claim yourself as a people without being stuck to a specific land. How do we know that? The Geneva Conventions and protocols cover it. In fact, the protocols helped with this, with a group of people called the Kurds. The Kurds are the people in between, there's a cuff, and you have Iraq, you have Iran, and you have Turkey at the bottom. It's an area where all those countries touch each other, all three of them, right? Well, in that, you could circle within like 400 to 500 miles radius, like in that area, it's a people called the Kurds. Those specific people are a particular group classified amongst the international community, which covers not only the military force, but all economic trade, international trade laws, and international humanitarian laws, the Kurds. So by now, the United States played a head game on those melanoids or black Americans, then to become Negroes, then to become black, and then to become African American, now to become ADOS or foundational black Americans. You need to just be a people in this country, recognized in Mexico, recognized in the Caribbean, recognized in the Pacific, and recognized in Canada as a specific named said group of people. Because under that, we'll have specific protections, provisions, and specific rights, just like the American so-called natives in the United States of America. We would have these protection rights, and we'd get special funding, medical, et cetera, et cetera. The government's corrupt. Is always going to find a way to fuck with us and fuck us over, or fuck with you and fuck you over. But I'm just saying, this is where it's all at. This is where it all comes down. The international effects. And so with that said, gonna cross over. I'm gonna do more talks about this. I'm gonna share some specified stuff. I'm just flashing, because you know I don't do live streams all the time. I'm not getting paid for it. Unless y'all want to do donations, y'all see that up there. It's up to y'all. But I want to go into some spiritual talks now. Y'all got to give me a break. We're gonna take a little quick break. Hold on. Benevolence. Welcome to DavidDimitri.com. That's right, we're live in color, and I'm gonna give you a tour, a cover tour of the websites. Now, let's look right here. As you see, as other websites, you have the different web pages. Let's start with my feature film, Outlined. That's right, it's called Outlined. A feature film, produced, directed, executive produced, co-lead actor, David Dimitri. Wonderful metaphysical, enlightening film, inspiration. The book, Outline to Empower, How to Do and What to Know for Evolutionary Living. A look into me, David Dimitri, also birth name, David Demetrius Johnson. So look into my childhood, teenhood, and adulthood. Incredible, inspirational, overcoming. Click on the page and go directly to it. We have more right here on David Dimitri Live in Color, live stream, live cast at David Dimitri Live in Color on YouTube, David Dimitri on Instagram, David Dimitri on TikTok. And while checking with me, know that I am a keynote speaker. I'm a speaker, inspirational speaker, not just an author. And I have courses for my book and for my teachings. You can book me, go right here where it's showing you, or you can go to the page, my life coaching page right here, and contact me and we can get you going. And on that note of creating courses for you, we create films for you, small films. We create your low content books and your related courses. That's right. Help you brand and market right there on social media and online commercial drops. Whatever you need, graphic novel productions. Whatever you need, graphic novel productions. Graphic novel productions page. Check me out. So that's the front page of the website. You can go to the other pages when you're ready. And you should also check out right here at the bottom, front page, home page. You can get all the contacts, phone number, all the social media as I just expressed them. And you get to go to the Prime Up International website for all networking and all needs, taking your legacy to the next level. Let's make your greatest dreams come true. We're here for you. DavidDimitri.com is not just about me. It's about you. Love every time. All right, peace and benevolence. We back. We back. We back. All right, so yo, peace. Okay, so we about to go now. I want to share something with y'all. Mash in the place of, it is David Dimitri. We are live in color. Keeping the vibes cool, smooth, and vitalized. Cool, smooth, and vitalized vibes. I want to share something with y'all.
How are people not seeing this? The government just released new terrifying technology that will control us. Before we look at it, let me give some context.
The world is going to go to a digital financial system. You and I will each have our own personalized ledger, which is accessed by our digital identity, connected to blockchain. You'll get your smartphone and you'll have, hey, your new easy account with the bank. You have your digital ID, you have a QR code. It'll just be fast and easy.
Well, it's already happening. Civic is the first digital ID, and what's even more scary is what it says on the homepage. Strengthen your compliance program. Doesn't that spark some fear in you? They have already started to use it on vending machines. It's also what Ethereum and Polygon uses.
We're in the transition to the new financial system. It's coming. You're not going to stop it. Good luck.
Yo, peace, benevolence, yeah. So, wasn't sure if I was going to share that. Because I don't want to contradict myself. But yo, let's check it out. Let's get into this. Now that I've already shared it, let's recognize something. I need you guys to recognize that you need to recognize that you have to invest as much as you can into the different areas of life that will benefit you. So although I just told you to invest into crypto, blockchain, learn about it, get invested, practice it, think of it like a video game, put the app on your phone, get the protective app to protect your wallet and start practicing with it. Do some day trading, some aggressive. I know not a lot of us have $10,000 to the side and $5,000 to put to the side for some passive aggression, investment, some passive investment. But aggressive investment is the day-to-day trying to come up, hustling, taking risk management, doing it. You see what I mean? But yet, the video I just showed you, the video was called "The Government's New Terrifying Technology." So, you heard what it was talking about. So there's no area of life where you're not being monitored, and where you're not being detailed monitored. You just don't break laws. You just don't break laws. Do your investment, make your money. Hopefully you can make money doing aggressive investment. That's where it's at. Fuck all that. And yeah, if you got the money, but a lot of black people and everyday people, period, white, Samoan, regardless, immigrant or not, in the United States, Europe, Peru, Ecuador, Mexico, Trinidad, St. Thomas, regardless where you're at, Canada, Fiji, New Zealand, Botswana, the Congo, Uganda, Angola. Angola is in the house. Regardless of where we're from, we have to invest and make money. Don't worry about this terrifying technology.
How are people not seeing this? The government just released new terrifying technology that will control us. Before we look at it, let me give some context.
The world is going to go to a digital financial system. You and I will each have our own personalized ledger, which is accessed by our digital identity, connected to blockchain. You'll get your smartphone and you'll have, hey, your new easy account with the bank. You have your digital ID, you have a QR code. It'll just be fast fast and easy.
Well, it's already happening. Civic is the first digital ID, and what's even more scary is what it says on the homepage. Strengthen your compliance program. Doesn't that spark some...
Okay, listen. I'm on Civic. Okay? I was on Civic when it first came out because my first studies in high school was journalism. I was a football player, but I studied journalism and I was a librarian. The strangest thing is I was a dancer and a rapper. You just like the total package, right? But it's like I dropped out of high school because of reefer, you fucking BG. I did that too. Okay, I'm talking shit. You see that ego trip? But my point is, I got on Civic, experimenting. Come to find out this about Civic. So, what's the point? Don't let this shit stop you. And you know what else? We all got low self-esteem. I got low self-esteem. I got levels of imposter syndrome. I got levels of imposter syndrome. Everybody try to make all these psychological things. Okay, hold on. I must finish this. All of us have levels of different things. You don't just generally have it or generally don't have it. So when it say that you're fake, you're kind of fake. You can be kind of fake. People are kind of fake. The Bible in the Ecclesiastes said don't be overly righteous or overly wrong. Same thing, you might have a little bit of imposter syndrome in certain areas of your life. Like, when it come to speaking, I'd be shaking and scared. If it come to fighting, I get down. I feel better in front of everybody fighting. If we're alone, I feel emotional, like it's personal, and I don't like to fight like that. You could be a motherfucker, I'll beat their ass in front of everybody. I mean, I will I drag they, boy, my moves, you got to hit me. That's your do. That's what you has been charged to do. That's gonna be the problem. But if we alone, it's personal, emotional. I don't like that. I like to just get down because I was trained to do that growing up. A boxer in kickboxing and playing football, actually competitive all the way up through adulthood. So I don't want to be in no jail cell, no prison, talking to people and getting to know them and this shit and end up fighting them. I want to just show up a motherfucker and fight a motherfucker. Because I can do that. There ain't no emotional attachment. I will show out on their ass. But on another note, we're going to get back to Civic in the video. But first, I want to look at a comment. Said, and excuse my language, those of you that are very spiritual, I appreciate you. Douglas Hussar, thank you for chiming in. BR Spiritual Ninja, I'm telling you, that sister BR Spiritual Ninja, we need to learn from her. She's a genius because she talks about the physical body, the necessity. She teaches in the spiritual tip the necessity for the physical body and how it feels and what it's going through spiritually and psycho-spiritually. In whatever spatio-temporal zone you're experiencing life. That's someone I would follow to learn about that. Benevolence unto you all. I want to speak about a comment made by CASHAPP. He said, if I'm just getting some funds together for future investments, what areas you think is best to invest towards? Dr. Montgomery, are you still in the house? Dr. Montgomery, I hope you're still in the house. We got a question that you can answer. Dr. Montgomery on Instagram. Dr. Jamar Montgomery is the man to talk to when it comes to investments. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not going to front like, I'm the daddy, I'm the investment daddy. Nah, I'm not going to do all that. But I'll say one person I know that's traveling the entire planet from Dubai to Switzerland, the places that I've been, and I have not been to Dubai, but he's been to places I've been, and I'm happily that I met him in person. He is a high-powered investment guru, so CASHAPP and anyone else, if you're sincere and you want to take courses, he has courses, and you want to learn, I'm not how that will work out between you and him, but He does teach and he does advise. He does consultations. Dr. Jamar Montgomery is right there in the comment section. Check with him. He is and this is grassroots work now that we're doing. All of us are doing grassroots work. And by the way, BR_spiritual_ninja is all the way in Brazil, I believe. I believe the sister is in Brazil. I'm not sure. I believe it's Brazil. And she does speak good, great English. And she has a great teaching for brothers or sisters. I have been learning from her for months, and I have finally had the guts to to reach out to the sister. She is classy and she is down to earth, but she is really teaching something vitally brilliant. And I think it's very important for melanoids. So get with that regardless who you are, regardless of your race, creed, and color, your economic situation. And if you want to invest, I suggest you talk to Jamar Montgomery. If you want to learn real Angolan African dance, right there in the Instagram comment section, Vandra Poster Angola. When you follow these people, you're going to be like, wow. But what up, Douglas _Hassar, peace, blessings. Kachif Bay always running the place. Yeah, mashing the place up. R. Wigamba 011. Benevolence, gratitude that you are here. Dr. Jamar Montgomery, always bossing up. Awu, AWUCHI _productions. Awuchi _productions. Always vibrating high level, great energy, gratitude. Back to the video and what I was saying. Civic, look up these places. Don't just get this information off of this live stream. Look up Civic. Go on it. Don't be afraid because of the video. Look, let me tell you something. You know what your ancestors are and what they've been through. You know your power and strength. I believe there's some opportunities in some of these so-called big, they're going to put a chip in you. Nah, they're not there yet. That's after the nuclear war. See, you got to get it. I'm trying to put y'all on game. Don't play with the boy. Don't play with the boy. Listen, don't play with the boy. Certain things. Look, right now with all these big corporations, Facebook, Amazon, all of them are applying for the colony civilizations after the nuclear war. They're applying, they're proving themselves to have a place in the city bunkers during and after the nuclear war. They're also applying to have a position in a place in the coming surface after the nuclear war, surface colonies. They're going to be colonies. So what you want, I have to tell you this. What they're going to do is in Helsinki, they're sending all of our DNA. I got up in my DNA. I got in my DNA, right? They're sending our DNA, blood. When you're born, they take blood out. No matter what, they got your DNA. There's no way out of it unless you like in a Caribbean or African country, South American country, in your Asia or somewhere out there where you're born in the jungle or born somewhere secretly and you never end up on the paperwork. Or about time they get you on the paperwork, you ain't even going to no hospital or nothing. But they definitely got some of my DNA. They sending that to Helsinki or places like Helsinki in the United States or wherever, right? Through this social media, I'm putting y'all up on game, no matter who you are. Through this social media, what they doing is they're collecting who we are as a personality, our thoughts, our tendencies, what we stood for, how we expressed ourselves. They got all the information in an infinite database. You getting it? So they got all our information on ourselves. And what they're doing with their info is they're gonna, in the colonies, do what they did in the movie called Demolition Man. They got your actual DNA. Then they got all the live streams of David Dimitri. They got all the pre-recordings of David Dimitri. They got all the Facebook, the Instagram. They got all the YouTube of David Dimitri from all the way back in 2007 when he started YouTube. They got all the MySpace from David Dimitri in 2005 to 2006. They got the 2004 emails of David Dimitri. They got the book that David Dimitri wrote. They got all the public speaking he did, being a social activist and being a black liberationist and all this shit and all this. They got all this information. They say, we're gonna bring him back to life, get his DNA, order his DNA, and they're gonna have the machine in these colonies, and then they're gonna be able to bring somebody like me back to life. But they don't know what my spirit can do. That's what they don't see it coming. But how do you know? How do you know? Because I was incarnated from the future. I wasn't incarnated from the past like a lot of us. The reason, let me tell you, I'm telling y'all, gang, boy, I'm not about to go and tell you all this game for free because you haven't subscribed to where I already have all the videos made, but I haven't put them there because too many people bite styles. Too many people bite game. Sucker MCs should call me sire. Just sitting up stealing people game. I can't even teach those I love. I can't even attract that I reflect. I gotta hide myself and hide all this value I have to bring to everybody because all people do is sit back and bick and pick and nick and pick and steals what someone else said and steal instead of joining them and making themselves more powerful and being more powerful in a synergized group. Because they played with everybody's subconscious for the last, since World War II was ended. With all this technological junk. Nobody wants to join anybody. Not saying join a group, but nobody wants to unite for some legitimate long-term, short-term and long-term effectiveness. So somebody like me, they got all these videos made, I want to post, and since I'm scared because you're going to steal it, so I'm going through all this with this attorney to protect all my shit from YouTube owning my shit and from blah, blah, blah owning my shit because there's so much to me. If you go on the website, like I just showed you the website, you realize I have a full feature film that has been in multiple film festivals around the world. But I'm not saying that because of the legal protection issues and all this different shit. Same thing with my book and all the courses I have related with the book. I can't say that everything has to be, and it's screwing the world up. Trust me, y'all not getting the value y'all deserve. I'm not getting the value from you I deserve because we're scared to link up and synergize. But back to what I was saying, we have to we're going forward. We're going forward, and they want to build these colonies. They're getting our genetics and storing it, especially the melanoid people, and anybody amongst the melanoid that rise above the rest. Then they got all of us expressing ourselves on this social media. There's a database, and they can just put in a number, pull up everything about you, and separate it in that database from everyone else, and apply all that that information into a consciousness that they have in the DNA that they developed you in a machine, and you become another version of yourself. Just like this. I'll have a muscle right there. You know what I'm saying? I'll have a beard. They can make you what age they want. And then they put all that information in you. You might be 25. Like how I'm my age now. But they'll make the 25-year-old version of me, but put all the information, even when I was 70. Into that 125-year-old, and I wake up like a child, a baby, full of energy, blah, ready to go off, and they want me to play some specific part in that because they want to control and they want to experiment. That's how fucked up the future is with what they want to do. You understand? And that's part of what's going on in the information I'm putting out to y'all, whether you want to like it or not. Also, on OWU, you will learn, and you should subscribe because we will be putting it up and just making sure, finishing everything with this attorney. We will be putting up about 50 videos. It'll all just be there all of a sudden. You're going to be learning a gang of shit. And you need to know a lot of us were sent here from the future. The coming golden age. The golden age where everything's crisp. Ain't no more it's all 9 ether. All 9 ether. Ain't no weird cake shit. Ain't no ghost face shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sabotage spirit. Ain't no false accusations. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no division. Ain't all that. Everybody living in love and celebrating, having those carnivals like you see in the Caribbean, like you see in Brazil. Beautiful life. Ain't no child molestation. Ain't no abuse of women. Ain't no negligence of men's feelings and negligence of men. Ain't no hypermasculinity. Ain't no racism. Ain't no classism. Ain't no lack, just abundance. From that, some of us, we're incarnated here from there, and we got all that information from there. Why? To combat what I just said that they're going to do. They're going to take the versions of us that's fucked up in this specific incarnation, or probably our past incarnation, but this specific one, because they're taking our data, and they're going to incarnate the fucked up people to fight against those of us that are right. The evidence is what? Where's your evidence? You talking good, but what's the evidence? We're going through it now. Some of y'all got people you reproduced with. Some of y'all got family members that are just against you. And you're the best one of everyone. You're the best one. Your own family members, your own children, or your own lovers. These people just want you dead. Bumbleclad. It's ridiculous, right? It's just, it's nonsense. And this is what we're going through. It's because that's the way that we're protected. If all melanoids or black people were these positive people, they would just kill everybody off. But what it is, you have super great ones amongst us that they need. They need, not want, need to help innovate and further their civilization through inventions, through problem solving, through enduring what they can't in all kind of situations. And so our ancestors are birthing some of us that aren't so okay from the past. But everyone in Owu of the future, the coming golden age, are crisp. Everybody is great. So any of us sent here from that future are actually protected by our own family members and relatives, or even sometimes our children that are fucking tripping on us. We're literally protected because all those on the outside see the other races, or is that person's just like them. And so that while they looking down, they don't know one of us is, or two or three of us are super powerful. Well, those of us that are the super powerful ones, you're not from the past. So all that ancestralism and all that, that's cool. But you need to know something that only I specifically realize, and that's not ego. It's nowhere else, taught nowhere. And that is that we're incarnated here from the future, and we purposely did it. We're sent here from the future because we have super powerful positive energy, intelligence, problem solving, etc., and adaptability powers that the others don't, because they haven't lived in the future yet. They're just incarnated from the past. That's where the ancestralism come in. You got to move up the pyramidal scale from ancestralism and the ancestral jurisdiction addiction. You have so many of us stuck on the ancestral jurisdiction addiction because Ifa, and because voodoo, and because all that. That's all good. That's all you can do. I'm not putting you down. That's who you is. But don't be jealous, homie. Don't be hating. Don't feel no way because somebody didn't innovated the game. It's not that it's innovated. It's just that I incarnated from the future. I already knew that that's what I was come here for. You know what I'm saying? To drop a truth that some of us are from the future. And that's why you can come up with all that knowledge. BR_spiritual_ninja. That's why, because you were incarnated from the future. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you can adapt so good. Dr. Jamar Montgomery, because you were incarnated here from this future. That is our actual spirituality, unlike the others. You see? Man, it's not that they're less than us, it's just that we have a specific level of spiritual consciousness that vibrated, our genetics vibrated from the future, our spiritual consciousness. Soul consciousness, like I keep teaching y'all, not ego consciousness. Soul consciousness versus ego consciousness. When you are soul conscious, you get this. But when you're in a probate mind, you competing, you're jealous, or you're saying you're in a rush and you're saying, I'm gonna steal this and say it myself. I'm gonna get the credit for it. Just get over your fucking self and unite and synergize, because that's your destiny. If not, everything gonna go wrong for you, fucking around with the wrong person, because my forces will ruin your life trying to steal from me. Now, I'll tell you that now. So I can say what I want when I want, because anybody trying to steal my game and steal my rhymes, you a sucker MC. But it don't matter. I don't need to know nothing. It's gonna fall apart. Don't try to steal my game. Your life will fall apart. The ones from the future, you depending on the ancestors and your angels or your Jesus or whatever. The future. It's something, it's game. But the videos will be up on Ovu soon. Subscribe, all early subscribers and stuff. We're going to have some gifts because I have an investor. We're going to have some gifts we're going to give to you. But I didn't mean to go on an ego trip. But it's pretty brilliant to know that you are special. It feels great. And I believe some of y'all here are ascendants. If you're ascendant, that means you were incarnated here from the future. There's an actual test in the book that I will be dropping soon. After this book has done its doing, that I'm releasing in December or in January, the next book will be coming by June, and it is great. Back down to earth, and enough about me and about that. Get yourself involved with things that are about the future. If it's just investing, invest against Civic. I just showed you that video. All right. So I want to share you. I want to come back down to earth now. Let's do with some of the elections. Y'all ready for something with the election? I know y'all know. Y'all know y'all burnt out on that bullshit. The elections, the fucking elections. Harris versus Trump. I'm for Harris. I'm for Trump. I know y'all tired of that brain dead puppet bullshit. If you ain't tired of that bullshit, something wrong with you. That is some bullshit. Every 4 years, everybody up in arms about this election shit. I wish everybody could study political science and get burnt out on that shit like I have, to realize that shit is a fucking sham. That shit is a fucking scam, man. Y'all need to give that shit a break. I'm a political atheist. The next book is called The Art of Political Atheism. I will be breaking that shit the fuck down. The book Ben wrote, I took it off. I released it a couple of years ago. I took it off the shelf because I had extras to add to it, because I end up making some courses. Each book I make courses coordinated with it. This book is for teenagers and young adults. The Art of Political Atheism. It will help you learn to care and love yourself, woman, man, feminist, whatever you call yourself, whatever, black. As long as you come from the struggle, this book is for you. It's called The Art of Political Atheism. It's already been out. I took it off the shelves, or stopped selling it and took it all the way off, because I added something new to it. Changed it up because of the courses I wanted to make. And you're gonna want this book as a gift to teenagers and young adults. It will make them be able to see through the mind control fucking games being played on the masses in any political sphere of life. Politics is not just government. Politics is dealing with racial issues. Politics is dealing with financial issues. Politics is dealing with family issues. Politics is dealing with friendships. Politics is dealing with who's putting how much into the pizza. Politics is dealing with who's putting that much on the weed. Politics is, you know what I'm saying, I was with her first. I was with him first. Politics of life. I touch on all those levels in this book and help empower the youth. And it's a great gift if you care for somebody younger than you. And I just presume you do. Because if you have anything good inside of you, you should. And that book will be released 2025. So I have something I want to share with y'all. I want to know what y'all think. Please, 909-446-2388. This is something that matters to me. So I want to know what y'all think of this.
About to show you in just a matter of seconds. You're just under Trump's spell. You're just following a cult. Because there is no sane, logical, rational reason to justify that vote. Or maybe you just hate Kamala because she's a female, because she was a prosecutor. But even what you're going to see now, even those things don't justify what you are about to see. And the best part of this is it comes straight from Trump himself. Let's look at this. Now, what Trump did was he created a Project 2025 list for Kamala because he got pummeled after folks found out about the Project 2025 list that he has in place to implement if he gets elected. So now that so teed him off and rubbed him wrong. So he created a list, a Project 2025 list for Kamala. And this list tells you everything you need to know about what he intends to do for black people and what Kamala intends to do for black people. And the first thing I want you to see here, the first thing is if you go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth item on this list, he says that Kamala's Project 2025 includes taxpayer-funded reparations. She supports taxpayer-funded reparations. So there he tells you that Kamala is for reparations. Where does he get that from? He gets it from Kamala because she has said so many times. In many interviews, she has said so. And he knows that that is one of her agenda items. But the flip side is, it's not one of his. He has no intention of giving black people reparations. Hello, FBA people. Hello, ADOS. Hello, Philip Scott. Hello, all of you folks. Hello, are you listening? Trump is talking. He's talking. He's letting us know where he is. He will not and does not support reparations. Doesn't support them. Kamala does. So now when these folks have been cramming down your throats that you don't vote until you get reparations, that must mean he gets it from Kamala, that you will not vote GOP. You will not vote for Trump because he's now on the record saying that he will not, does not support reparations. But Kamala does. Her chief arch enemy tells us that she is for reparations.
All right. What you want? What you want? Gossipers hating, all be so damn good, but most of us stuck vexing. Why them? Who them? Business Brian. Why you dying daily? Simple science. Stop. How can we get blessings? Yeah, that's one of my old school drops right there. And I want to know what y'all feel about what that brother was just saying, because, you know, I've been in the political game for a long time. For a long time. So it's just a funny thing to me. It's not even nothing to trip off of to me, because I don't feel that highly of myself to think that I got so much control over shit. I believe my ideas matter and influence and inspire, you know what I'm saying, uplift and check the truth, standing for the truth, the faith, defending the truth that matters. You know what I'm saying? I do that. That's the ethic I was taught. But politics is full of trick knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Trickeration. You know what I'm saying? This brother right here is speaking on the terms as a brother from soul consciousness. And so he's speaking from his heart. He not on that mind trick game and talk and trick shit. So I respect that. But I know a lot of game goofy ass people that are like that. You know what I'm saying? I know game goofy ass people with good hearts. But their minds be damaged. You know what I'm saying? But brother's an attorney. He's a respected attorney. He been defending black people and doing all kind of shit, defending poor people. He took all kind of cases. He done a lot. And from his perspective, it's pretty good. I'm not an easy case to win because I'm a political atheist. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all never even heard of that. So if you never heard of that, you're definitely not a political atheist, because it's not a thing that you do subconscious. It's not possible. Political atheism is a conscious competence. I repeat, political atheism is a conscious competence. And when you buy the book, The Art of Political Atheism, is going to lift you to a level. And the art of political atheism is such knowledge that it teaches you that you can apply to different areas of your consciousness, of your human experience, and your spirituality. And so I did a little studies on Tariq Nasheed, and that brother spoke of him, and that ADOS movement, that one sister, I forgot her name. I respect Tariq Nasheed and what they're doing. I respect that sister. That's the ADOS movement. And and the brother Phil, that's with the African Diaspora broadcast on YouTube. And this brother just spoke of them, one in the video I just showed you. Because they're anti-Democrat. Now, it makes total good sense to be anti-Democrat if you're a melanoid black American, especially if you're a foundational black American. You could be a Democrat and you can be from Africa in America. You could be a Democrat and you could be from the Caribbean in America. It'll make sense. It'll make total sense, because that'll benefit you. You could be LGBTQ and it can make sense. But to be a black American and be Democrat and you're politically aware, ain't nothing wrong being independent and voting Democrat in certain situations or voting Republican in certain situations. That makes sense. But I think that any American that's of the original, their ancestry goes back to the 1700s, the 1600s, or the 1800s. You really don't have no sense being a Democrat or a Republican, if you ask me. It's fucking asinine. Unless you're getting paid to be. All right, I'm with it. The Democrats or Republicans ain't paid me yet. And I'm a political scientist. So what good had it done me? Now, the universities pay me to be an adjunct professor, but mostly what I teach is administration because nobody wants to do it. But I get in some political science, but, you know, it's only so much you can say. You got to stick to what they tell you to say. So on here, I'm going to tell you, as for the brother, I'm going to ask you, what do y'all believe? You got a phone number right there, 909-446-2388. Who do you stand for and why? No one asks you why. I ask you why. Who do you think that'll benefit the traditional black populace of America? Who do you think that'll benefit the more poorer Americans? Not the middle class. Not the wealthy. I love wealthy people. I love middle class people. I love poor people too. But I want to know who's going to benefit the people getting on the bus. The people that don't got money to invest. The people that's living place to place. Who's going to benefit the super spiritual indigenous melanoid people? I'm a super spiritual melanoid person. So whose policy is going to benefit? Me. A group that's ignored, rejected, denied their respect, even from amongst their own, because of jealousy. This is my question. So the brother said that basically he said it's asinine to not vote for Kamala Harris if you're black, because no tangibles in there. He said that, and he pointed out the truth. Donald Trump basically said when he put that out, that him and his people put that the Kamala Harris 2020 project, 2025 project, and Donald Trump put that she's for reparations, taxpayer paid reparations. Donald Trump himself said that. I would never had said that about Kamala Harris. I would never had thought that Kamala Harris gave a fuck about black people enough to give reparations. Never. But Donald Trump himself said that that really fucked the whole game up. Donald. You know, Donald Trump don't put that shit on himself. He just says, okay. But that was some dumb shit to put down. Because Kamala Harris ain't gonna do nothing but what her man and them people around her tell her to do. That's white or Jewish. Jewish people are white to me. All Jews I grew up with and worked with in Sony and Def Jam West, everybody was white. Even the Ethiopians that were supposed to be Jewish in Africa, that was my flatmate, they didn't even call it Jew. They called it something else. So I don't want to hear it. Same thing. Clearly, somebody thinks, Donald Trump and his people think that Kamala Harris would give reparation, or he's telling his people that Kamala Harris, and I didn't just take this man's word for it. I had already saw that. But then I looked deeper into it, and it was Donald Trump and them on their website released that. Donald D. Trump whatever. President Donald D. Trump. Kamala Harris wouldn't give a dying black child on the ground a crumb of food, dying of starvation. Nah, she wouldn't, man. You got it all wrong, bro. But the fact that you put that out got you fucked up in my mind. You seem desperate. Like when a boxer, you fighting, if you can get them at a certain distance, you beating them at a certain distance, and you breaking down their defenses, and you fucking with their whole nervous system and everything. You got them in pain. They're trying to figure out, and you keep winning. No matter what they do, it doesn't work. Everything you do works. They start doing shit, throwing shit out there. It's funny. It feels great. It feels greater than when you hit them. Their misses, their little dumb shit a grown-ass man start doing. And so I'm just going to tell y'all, man, you're fucked in the game. There's no way out of it. You're going to have to be tough, black people. They pushing back the hands of time no matter what. Because when the resources get skimpy because there's a fucking war, black people suffer the most. When there's a depression, black people suffer the most. When there's fucking the biggest prosperity ever, black people suffer the most. So what they're telling you is they're going into a third war, a third world war. We already know America lost control over the world economy and BRICS has picked up the game. The Longshoremen Union, International Union is just protesting right fucking now. I just went into the store. A lot of shit wasn't in the store. Kamala Harris or Donald Trump can't help you. Whether you're a rich black person, a middle class, or poor. Those tax write-offs are going to benefit from Donald Trump are going to benefit those that respectably earned their position by having faith in themselves and investing into their whatever investments. And prospered, put it in an LLC, or just invested and prospered. Kamala Harris won't do that. She's going to put high-level taxes on high-level corporations. But she's going to open up social socialist type programs and continue them to help immigrants, not the black American populace. They put us in a trick bag as Americans, and we're worried about who the fuck to vote for. I believe your spirituality and your personal individual self is more important than voting. And I am an actual adjunct professor, and not only political, but at communication and media, and also in administrative law because I have a master's in administrative law. And I've worked in the government and did my dissertation while doing so. And I'm telling you, prepare to preserve yourself. Don't give a fuck about their hoopla head game. In the end, whoever will be president, they put them there. And whatever head game they're going to play, you're going to have to adapt to it. Connect with those on this social media. Here on the Instagram. And then whatever teachings, follow them. BR Spiritual _Ninja is bringing straight, powerful, blessed, great, powerful teachings to benefit you. Dr. Jamar Montgomery, right there in the Instagram, can help you. You invest in yourself, he's going to help you. That's what he does. And that, as for voting, do what you want. Participating in public civic stuff is great. It's fun. I wouldn't tell you not to vote. I would tell you to vote. I might not. I really don't think they're good enough for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're pathetic. But the government is pretty honest. It's telling you they don't give a fuck about you. And you're living in a world that don't give a fuck about you. For once, the government is being honest with you. We don't give a fuck about you. Don't you see? You got to give a fuck about yourself. You got to do for your motherfucking self. You got to take care of your body. Make sure your body and your feelings are aligned. Your emotions and your body is aligned. Make sure your heart and mind is aligned. Make sure your soul consciousness is stronger than your ego consciousness. That's right. Make sure your soul consciousness is stronger than your ego consciousness. I repeat, make sure your soul consciousness is stronger than your ego consciousness, because you want to be able to know what's going to happen and what's the best way to adapt for your own benefit. What does voting got to do with that? What does voting have to do with that? Fuck all that. Sound the alarm, another sound was silent. Oh, hey. And on that note, I hope y'all realize you have to prepare. I hope you're preparing. If you need any help in preparing, know that I am growing food. I do know secret and good ways to legally stock up waters, and I know how to speed up your ability to have your legal rights to arms carry and discount prices of going to ranges. And you have to enjoy life. I suggest you enjoy life. That's my biggest suggestion. Here's my new song release coming out November 1st. November 1st. The song David Dimitri live in color. David Dimitri live in color. It's soca. Y'all like soca music? It's the soca hip hop joint. Self-affirmation song.
Enhance your shine. Prime up international. Energize your shine. Vibrate with glow and glow. Now's perfect time. Prime up on 'em. Smooth on the come up. David Dimitri is live in color. Prime up on 'em. Hackers won't run up. David Dimitri is live on grind. Prime up on 'em. Bow for the fun up. David Dimitri brand life online. Prime up international. That's perfect time. Y'all shine, invigorating souls. Love how you bone. Time now, don't stall on hold. Keep settings on go. All mine, I'm taking y'all hearts on bold. Lend me your souls. Make social media make sense. Y'all status on slow. Baby, don't fold. Haters exposed, give them no growth. That blows them hoes. Big up investors, divestors, tricksters, too jealous and cold. Networkers, network, net profit, net jerk. Brand go bro. Got this untouchable pro. I'm like Al Heyman unknown. Hey ya, hey ya, hey hey. Sneak in the line. Hey ya, hey ya, hey. Shine with your vibe. Hey ya, hey ya, hey. Peak at your prime. Hey ya, hey ya, hey hey. Vibrate and shine. Hey ya, hey ya, hey. You can't do it, go. Hey ya, hey ya, hey hey. Stay in the know. Hey ya, hey ya, hey. Shine forth and glow. Hey ya, hey ya, hey hey. Flex like a go or grow.
Get soft, get hard, get wet, get rich. Life ain't no bitch.
First off, place blame ad hoc who's